The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance. The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with ACT Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Foxy, as we are here for the final day of Division 1 in Season 1. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is the very last day of this division, this beautiful top-tier division with only the best teams in the area, and they are going to be squaring off for the last time this season before, of course, relegations, promotions, and all of that jazz happens. But that is, of course, a talk for the end of the season. We've got 2 games for all of our viewers at home today, and starting things off will be Kira Esports versus Extremis Esports on the map of Oregon, and both of these teams are coming off of rather interesting turnaround for themselves. The last time we saw Kira Esports, interestingly enough, was actually last week. Yesterday's game against Battery Esports did not get to happen, unfortunately. So we saw them against MonkaS on the map of Clubhouse last week, where they took the game 7-5. It was a close game between both teams, but for MonkaS, it was not to be. And for on the other side, for Extremist Esports, we saw them yesterday twice, for that matter, and they're coming back for their third game this week today against the side of Kira Esports. They had a surprise win yesterday over Demus Force, of all teams. A team known for their severe attacking strategies was weathered down by Extremist Esports in a turn of events that was completely unexpected, beating DF 7-4 on this very map of Oregon. But then later in the night, they took on Team L2K, who were fresh off their own round 15 overtime. And on the map of Cafe, Extremists were not able to repeat their luck, and they lost. The match went 7-3 to L2K. So the Extremist Esports, they haven't had the best of seasons. They've lost a lot of games, unfortunately, but they've managed to bring it close. They've done well in a lot of situations, and that has been their best suit. It's just that they haven't been able to convert off of those into wins. While Kira Esports, of course, they also haven't had the best season per se. Maybe they can turn that around today. Foxy, what do you think?
Well, just like you said, yesterday's performance from XT was amazing. We did get to see them defeat Demus Force on Oregon. And just like I happened to say about this, the map choice for XT has been very linear. And I think I'm slowly reading into what they like to put forward, what's their best foot forward. Because coming off, this is the only team in Division 1 I don't have enough homework on. These guys just happen to, mix and match up and make their way here. So yeah, it's amazing to watch them. But once again, we're back here on Oregon with them. So it's going to be a fun match, I'm sure, because Kira Esports as well, they've had their days on Oregon. And we've seen some amazing stuff come out from both these teams. But it's definitely going to be an interesting match. I really want to see if XT happens to employ the same stuff they did for Demus Force and their way of approach towards how this entire match is going to be. Will it be Kira-centric, or will they keep doing their own thing? Just staying in their own comfort zone, trying to win this match. That's what I'm looking for from the first matchup, Kira Esports and Extremist.
Most certainly, it is going to be a fantastic game coming up as we are almost live with the lobby, ladies and gentlemen. There's just one player remaining from the side of Extremist Esports, as it looks like they're facing some power difficulties to get in as soon as possible. A little unfortunate, but, it is what it is. Power issues in this region, they're not exactly a new thing. We're all familiar with that. But enough about that. Oregon, as its own map, Extremists, just like Foxy said, we saw them bring out a very interesting dynamic yesterday, which is when faced with an aggressive attacking team like Demus Force, what did the side of Extremists do? Well, simple. They hid behind cover, they stood their ground, and they played for time. Demus Force, by proxy of that strategy coming out from Extremists, were forced to make peaks. They were forced to try and make a play. They were basically made to force a push, and it didn't work. Their setup wasn't there because they couldn't get the opening kills, and even if they did, Extremists refragged very well and very quickly. Will they be able to pull it off today as Kira Esports, while another very aggressive team, like their refrags, they like their trades, they like their body trades especially, and they'll be looking to do that today against Extremists Esports. So XT will probably have a little bit of a tougher fight, I dare say, against Kira Esports because of that slightly more methodical nature that they have, especially with the inclusion of Rats in their team. We know that man from many teams before, most specifically and most recently Reckoning Esports, or former Reckoning Esports, I'm sorry, Foxy, but it is what it is.
No, speaking of which, I do have an interesting take on this, happening to be close with one of the players on the side of Extremist Esports and Kira Esports in Reckoning. Vortex will be facing off Rats today, so that's going to be an interesting take. I would guess that I am looking at this match from that angle as well, that former players put together in a position. We've seen this come out in multiple teams already, not like the first time, but Yeah, that is an angle that I think we are yet to explore and see how they both were good with each other, but will they be better than each other when they happen to face off? So that's something that adds a little spice to it. It's just these little things in the game that, at least in the game on the competitive side, that keep us on the edge of our seats.
Absolutely. Competitive Rainbow Six is one of these areas where you get to see rivalries like this flourish as rosters and teams change over time. And that has never been more true for the South Asian region. So many team changes are happening behind the scenes, of course, that, sometimes are known, sometimes aren't. We find out about them as we go along, but it all revolves around those November majors, specifically for this time, of course, and any qualifiers to those majors. It all depends on those results, and a team that isn't able to get those results might end up facing changes, or even worse, there are worser fates than simply a few teammate changes here and there. But of course, that's a discussion for a completely different day, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, like I said just a few minutes ago, we're still waiting on extremists to join back into the lobby. Like I said, power issues, not exactly a new thing, but it is an issue that we've seen, we're familiar with, and hopefully Extremist Esports get all of their players into the lobby as soon as possible. But mind you, that's not the only game we have today. While Extremist and Kira is an interesting game in and of its own right, those who are hungry for some majors action, ladies and gentlemen, are going to get some of it tonight after this game, because we've got MonkaS taking on Union Gaming later on tonight. That is going to be a huge game, given that Union Gaming stand tall once again at the top of the league and MonkaS are hot on their trails. That's going to be another very interesting game. Wouldn't you agree, Foxy?
I have to agree with you completely, Blackjack. I'm very excited for the match in specific just because the history that they share. Union Gaming was unbeatable. They were the champion for the last league of the Esports Club, and for every single season except for one. Season 5, it was MonkaS that snatched that title away from them. So after that, it's today that we'll be seeing them fight again. And right now, Union Gaming is very comfortable from where they are. But counting MonkaS out of the competition is just unfair. That team is amazing, and I'm sure we are in for a spicy match after this one. This one is going to be spicy as well, but hey, it's the rivalry I'm talking about, right? MonkaS wanting to get that win once again against Union Gaming, because hey, Union Gaming is very comfortable right now. MonkaS wants to make sure that that spot that they hold gets a little shaky, and I expect nothing less from MonkaS either.
Absolutely, especially as of recently, MonkaS has been changing things around, putting in new operators into the meta that we didn't think we'd ever see, and I'm pretty sure a lot of viewers can deduce what exactly I am referring to. QB on Oregon playing Tachanka for 6 defensive rounds straight. It wasn't one match isolated event either. He did it again in the next game that they played once again on Oregon. It didn't quite work out as well, but even then, the fact that he did it, got away with it, and was almost top fragging for the entire first half, that says something about MonkaS's ingenuity. They are turning things around. They're looking to change things up. And while, some could argue that that was more of a tribute to Tachanka as he stands today, seeing as his rework is up and coming very soon, even then, the fact that they made him work that well on Oregon and almost did it a second time is commendable in and of its own self. That's what MonkaS brings to the table for competitive Rainbow Six change-ups, which are very much needed when you consider the fact that we've been in the utility meta for quite some time now, and an operator change-up is more than required. That's why we're seeing Womai bans as of late, just to reduce the amount of utility dump in map-specific areas. Think cafe, first floor kitchen, big bakery is usually held down. Womai, shield, he's got a deployable shield, his own, usually. A Banshee, couple of ADSs, his own magnets, and he can just sit there with the castle barricade just holding off the small bakery area. It's a lot. Cafe itself has 2 of those areas that Womai can hold, and then a little bit towards second floor cocktail lounge when third floor cocktail lounge, when the site is on second floor. Then you have excuse me right there. Then you have Oregon itself, Blue Bunker. Wamai can help a smoke hold very, very much. Even though Jaeger usually is the most important operator in that particular hold, if you have a Wamai available, then you're looking at almost a full stop to the attacker push from the side of Blue Bunker entry. And that's big. And seeing as it is Oregon today, I'm interested to see whether or not we'll see a Thatcher ban, maybe an Ace ban or two. Even though Ace has been freshly nerfed, he is still a very safe, very good hard breacher. With all of that being said, Extremis Esports have their last man in, their last players in. Kira Esports have all their players in. And we are getting the ready confirmation from both sides. The match is about to be live, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. We are a go with the final day of the first season, Division 1's final day in the first season. I should correct myself there. And the ban phase is going to be underway. Kira Esports versus Extremis. Extremis have the defensive pick, so they will have the first ban pick of the match. And the first attacker to be banned in a quick selection from XT is going to be none other than Thatcher. Another day, another Thatcher ban. The man's been warming the bench for a long time now. And at this point, it's rarer to see matches with Thatcher than without. On the other side, we've got Kira Esports banning the second attacker on the map of Oregon today. And as the timer ticks down, they're taking their time with this decision. We're going to find out who it is. It is Hibana. All right, this one is a little curious and not at the same time. Hibana for hatches is pretty much the only way to go, unless of course you're running a Maverick and a Maverick main who knows how to get those hatches with all his canisters. But if you want to be safe, if you want to be quick, Hibana is the way to go, and she will be banned today alongside Mira. Oregon, Mira, at this point, there really is no introduction required as to why Mira gets banned. That one-way Black Mirror comboed with the Vector and a C4, and that secondary ITA-12 as shotgun is just a very deadly combination. And to round things out, we won't see a Wamai ban. We will in fact see a Valkyrie ban coming out from Extremis Esports. It looks like they don't want to play around with a massive amount of intel per se. They will be taking down the Valkyrie, keeping Wamai, keeping Maestro, and other operators you can think of who may or may not have better suited the bans. Then again, that is up to how the teams decide to play a map. Let's have a quick look at both of the rosters that we have here on the lobby for ourselves today. From the side of Kira Esports, we've got Atharv, Kajit, Rats, Rattler, and Deathhammer. And from the side of Extremis Esports, we've got Z Panda, Gypsy, Psycho, Round, and Vortex, as we'll be moving into round one very quickly. Second floor dorms, and dorms main hall is going to be the side of choice.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction, Blackjack, into the game. I've got to say this out right off the bat. The bans, very interesting, very specific to the teams that you brought on board. Kira Esports and Extremis Esports, both of them trying to level the meta as much as they can from their capacity, at least before the game starts. That's what obviously the ban phase stands for. But hey, these bans looking they're looking a little too specific, you know, just the way both these teams happen to play. It's going to be an interesting take to how we see this match go out. And more interestingly, it's going to be a nice change up in terms of what both these teams like to play, or they won't be allowed to. The Mira ban, a good one. Does happen to, you know, put Oregon on a little bit less of a waiting game and a little more on the denial part. You know, with the Mira ban, we're going to see a huge emphasis in terms of how the denial is going to go down. And it only explains why we've got Z-Pan to bring out the Goyo. Surprisingly so, I don't see them emphasizing a whole lot in terms of the breach denial, and I wouldn't really blame them. It's kids dorms. You could just play your side. You could just take it a little easy. But hey, right now it's not going to be either of these teams taking it easy, because it is indeed the finale for Division 1 tonight. So all eyes on them, and more importantly, all eyes on. There is a server lag apparently. So maybe we should be going for a rehearsed. Should be, maybe. I'll just inform them that we can if there is.
I will watch over us.
Yep, that out of the way. We seen Rattler making his way in without a drone works already. Oh, he's got support. He's got drone works. There's always somebody communicating with him. We do have Vortex though. He's playing in a really difficult situation. He's actually all the way on the side of backstairs. We did see him do this before. He went on an extensive roam on the side of his kids' dorms, but look at this. The take from the side of White Stairs is real, and they might be going for this push any moment. Now, 4 people outside the White Stairs. That's a very weird stack up, and not even a well thought one, honestly. That one single doorway is gonna have to bear the weight of 4 attackers. Make that 3 now. Make that 2 actually. Rats is just flank watching, and yeah, now we do see the attackers dissipate a little bit, and just give me a little hope in terms of how they want to approach this. But no, Rattler is pushed up close, and nobody knows this. I don't think this information straight it off. Any moment now, he could be walking away with a frag. Rattler gets it. Gypsy takes the fall. What was that shot even? He gets a double. Z Panda and Gypsy say goodnight because Rattler is here on top of the main stairs. What is going on? Got Psycho pushing up. Does not connect the kill onto Maverick though. It's a 5 versus 2 all of a sudden. Make that a 5 versus 1. Where is Vortex? He's off the side. This is a disaster for Extremis Esports starting off in the first round. You got the Nomad coming in, and that'll be Rats. And like I said, the rivalry, Rats right off the first round takes off Vortex, his former teammate, like we were talking about and before the match started. Quite the explosive start to this round. Honestly, we'll be taking a quick look at that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. And Blackjack, any thoughts?
Well, for one, Foxy, like we said, you know, the side of Extremis Esports, they like to sit behind the meta. They like to sit behind all of their utility and play around, force the side of the attack, any aggressive attackers, into making mistakes by forcing a push. They tried it again, but Kira Esports, they have clearly done their homework on them after that game against Demas Force yesterday, and they decided, all right, since the entirety of Extremis Esports is facing the trophy room entryway, let's just push up the White Stairs. They had Rattler go up there, and they had just one man. All it took, one man up the White Stairs, playing that infamous spot, mind you, and that was it. That was game for the entire round. Extremis Esports completely collapsed, and there were a few unnecessary peaks here and there that they really shouldn't have done, if I do say so myself, as round 1 went the way of Kira Esports. It was quick, it was clean, and it was decisive, stamping their authority all over the map of Oregon and all over Extremis Esports' defense, and Extremis will need to make some very quick, very important changes for the side of their defense if they want to bring out any rounds at all against Kira Esports. This is something that we are more than aware of with Kira, which is they are aggressive, but they can be methodical as and when required. They think before they get in there, and they did well. They definitely read into Extremis' defense, and another thing that Extremis has been suffering from is being a little repetitive, being a little predictable. You want to avoid that when you are playing competitive in Rainbow Six. Just in general, you do not want to do the same things over and over again, even if they succeed, especially if they succeed. If you've done it once, you go back to the side 3 rounds later, you do not then try the same thing again. Your enemy team will read into that, and they will make you pay for it. And Kira Esports, while they didn't need a round loss to see what Extremists were doing, they knew what they were doing based off of their homework yesterday and, you know, the other matches of Extremists and their own preparation. It was a very good first round from the side of Extremist Esports, from the side of Kira Esports, as Extremists, unfortunately, round 1 wasn't quite their round.
Honestly, yes, that definitely wasn't their round. And just looking the way they happened to push up White Stairs, that was just well done from the side of the attack. Honestly, they were a little too quick to read into what the side of the defense was doing. And like I said, the emphasis on denial was not so much. Like we didn't even see the attackers, you know, trying to go for the breaches and whatnot. It was just, I mean, the breaches did happen. We did see the A's moving up to the side of the balcony, but hey, it's the change up that the bans have put in place, and it's the fact that both these teams know each other quite a bit, and they're able to take that kind of advantage, or, you know, just able to find those loopholes that either of them happen to hold. That out of the way, I'm sure we are in for one hell of a match, because Extremists are not going to give up. Not like this. They just lost a defender's favored map, at least. They just lost a round on a defender favored map. So they will be looking to make maximum conversions of this. But Kira Esports, they're looking strong already. Right off the bat, first round, very well done. beautifully executed round, honestly.
An absolutely amazingly executed round, as we'll be looking forward to more of those as soon as we are back with the match, ladies and gentlemen. But some technical difficulties have, of course, pushed us into the rehost, and we will be coming back with the game in a quick moment once everything is set up and ready once again. And yeah, outside of that, MonkaS versus Union Gaming, that's another game to look out for. And then there's the rest of the week because Division 2 still has its final play days. And then there's Division 3, the Bloodbath Division, followed by, dare I say, the region of the lesser knowns. I didn't want to say unknowns there. The region of the unknowns, flows better, but that would be a little too harsh to the teams in there. There are some great teams there that we have come to know. It's just that we haven't seen them for as long as we would like to go on with more analysis of those teams in this season. But, that can change in Season 2, Season 3, Season 4 as the months go on and as we move closer and closer to the bigger events of Siege across the year. But that is a discussion for another day. Right now, Kira Esports versus Extremists gotten off to a great start, and we have been forced into a little bit of a standstill in this first game. And there's only so much we can talk about because, again, it's only been just one round. So,
I mean, yeah, these moments, I know, right? I wish Baba was here, right? Baba's always got a story to tell, and maybe my prayers will get answered. Baba does happen to come and save us with his story. Well, we happen to get the lobby up and ready and running, but that out of the way. Well said though, Blackjack. Like just the way we have these matches going down. It's not only the fact that it's the finale of Division 1, it's the finale week. So every single day is going to be so crucial, very important, and more interestingly, very spicy with the matches, at least for us and for the viewers out there. Spicy Rainbow Six Siege, competitive stuff coming at your screens. And I mean, evidently not. I mean, you guys are staring at our faces, but we will be going into the match very soon, people. Once again, we apologize for the delay. It's just some stuff always. You can never be too sure, right? So yeah, that out of the way, I have as well officially run out the things we want. But hey, we will be going into the match very soon, people. Meanwhile, you guys can take a quick look at the WD Black NVMe SSD that we've got for you. You can get yourselves, spend less time waiting and more time gaming, people. Be right back in just a short while. Don't go anywhere. Just a short break. My apologies once again. But hey, we're here. Only first round is done. And the entirety of the match is still yet to be witnessed. That out of the way, we'll be joining you guys in a very short break. See you guys soon.
The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance. The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the game between Kira Esports and Extremis Esports on the map of Oregon, as we are almost back with the lobby. It has been hosted, the players are joining, and we will be back with the match very, very quickly. I know we've been saying that a lot, but hey, in other news, Baba Gusta is here with us for the analyst cam, as, Foxy's taking care of things on his own end as well. But Baba's here, and he and I will be taking you guys through the match, what we expect, what we've seen so far. I mean, we've only seen one round, arguably speaking. But even then, what we expect from this game, more importantly, as, those predictions sometimes come true, sometimes don't. It's a little bit of caster banter, if I may, excuse me. And it's going to be pretty interesting. Baba, round one, flawless to Kira Esports on second floor dorms. That was a big, big way to stamp their authority, wasn't it?
I mean, absolutely, Jack. And with them, we actually did see Kira Esports winning against MonkaS in an overtime match point, I believe. So going up against Extremis won't be much of a big problem for them. But we did see Extremis on the previous matchup. I believe it was on map Villa where they did performed well. But Kira Esports on map Oregon with a flawless win on first round, second floor dorms. Maybe they might be able to work it out. In the ban phase, we did see a Thatcher and Hibana ban. Quite interestingly, most of the time you do see a Nomad ban, or quite particularly some of the operators which would be more effective enough when it comes to those 30-second execution time. So eliminating the hard breacher Hibana would actually give the defenders most probably to worry about the hatches, because the Kaid is not banned on the side of defense. You do have at least the Ace or the Thermite, in which Ace needs to use a total of 2 Selma breaches to open up the hatches, and Thermite needs to use at least one of his exothermic charge to open up or blow up one of those hatches. Now, yes, since I was talking about it, a second on the first round, second floor domes, I believe there was a Maverick in play, and round two basement is going to be a difficult situation for Extremis, because since Hibana is banned and only relying upon Ace and Thermite is going to be a difficult situation for them.
Absolutely. As a little update on the match, ladies and gentlemen, it is, the scene is, that is, looking like all the players are in the lobby. We've got the ready confirmation as the first round. Once again, a refresher for all of our viewers. Round one went the way of Kira Esports on the second floor dorm site. And we'll be heading back into the game live once again for all of our viewers at home, as the match is resuming right now between both teams. Kira Esports, a beautiful, flawless first round to stamp their authority all over the map of Oregon. as round 2 will commence. We're heading back to second floor dorms and dorms main hall from the side of Extremis Esports' defense, as they will be looking to make amends for that first round. One of their big issues in that first round was their defense, while formidable, was directional. And why I say directional is because it was mostly aimed at a push coming in through tower, attic, and the bedroom trophy area through maybe even a hard breach on the bedroom wall. It wasn't focused on white stairs. There was almost zero emphasis on white stairs for that matter. And Kira Esports saw that. That was the one weak link that Extremis had in that defense. And that was the one weak link that got exploited by the attacking team. And not only was it exploited, but oh boy, turns out that was a big link that the side of Extremis did not, unfortunately, take into account. Now, sure, with the kind of utility that they're bringing out, the Goyo, the Melusi, the Wamai, it can be, focused in a particular direction. Most often it is, but you want to at least spare some of it onto a little bit of a backup, a different area that you might not be able to take into account fully, and that is what Extremis did not do. That's why we saw them get taken out in that first round from Kira Esports' White Stairs push. There is going to be some emphasis on White Stairs, the White Stairs area kitchen this time, as looks like there's going to be an extended hold from them on first floor kitchen and dining, because you have a rotation being made into meeting through kitchen, and the dining wall is being reinforced. That's big right there from the side of Extremis Esports. That's a big change as well, because reinforcements are pretty useful in a lot of situations, especially if the hard breaches have been taken care of. And they'll be looking to take advantage of that fact on first floor. But Rattler, okay, then he's looking to blow up that Gore Shield. He's already on the armory corridor, but he's just going to have to fall back. Blowing up that Gore Shield might not have been the brightest idea in the world, but at least it takes care of a shield that would have otherwise been very annoying to go up against for Kira Esports. They've got the Ace and the Maverick on hand for all the hard breach utility they need, as shields are being blown up left, right, and center. Rattler making sure of that, using the flashbang to burn out the Umai magnets as well, as a big chunk of the defense of Extremis Esports in sight has already been taken care of. They're setting up for the tower push as well. That is Kira Esports. The window on Attic has been broken, forcing Round to be very careful in how he positions himself and how he moves inside of this Attic turnaround. If he exposes himself too much, he will be taken out as easily as anything, and Kira Esports will get another body going forward. So far, no bodies have dropped, and time is slowly being wasted, as something would be said about Kira Esports' push so far, but they've got the hard breach done on the main bedroom wall already, and Rast is going to find one that's round of the board. Big drop comes out, the smoke is out of the board, opens up another angle onto tower right now as an Attic. And that is going to be a rotate in and out of Attic in case they need it. Opening up the lines of sight, opening up those important areas, as Deathhammer is going to find another one. And Vortex trying to retreat and meeting barely gets away from a line of sight. Rattler finds one more. In the meanwhile, Psycho will fall as a 5v2. All down to Vortex and Z Panda, the last two standing, and arguably the two most influential for this team. But no, Z Panda will fall, and it's all down to Vortex. Is he going to find one? He's facing the Zofia above a Thurv, and then there's the Maverick Deathhammer, as they know exactly where he is. Rattler's gonna watch the main stairs, but it doesn't matter. A Thurv's gonna find him, and Kira Esports take another flawless round on round 2, as second floor dorms goes to them once again. And the finish in the Fiery Inferno will come up in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, ladies and gentlemen, as it was a beautiful take yet again. This time going for the more standard, more traditional, through tower, through bedroom wall, through trophy push, but having already forced Extremis' hand in thinning their utility inside a site, they managed to make that take a lot easier on themselves. Kira Esports thinking a couple steps ahead right now, and Extremis are gonna have to catch up if they want to win round 3.
Well, 2 successful attack rounds on Kira Esports, winning second floor dorms. We're going to be seeing Extremis defending on basement laundry in the third round. We do see a Kaid being picked, especially with those electro claws, just as I was talking about it in the previous, the cassette cams that we get to make a discussion about it. being very dominant, knowing that the Hibana is banned, but they still do have the Maverick to open it up, even with the Electro Claw still in place. We do see a crouch rotation coming in from round, which connects from the laundry room towards the freezer, and just normal holes to make lines of sight right from the small room, which connects both the sides. We do see Z Panda yet again with the Goyo. We won't be able to see any changes in the operators picks except Gypsy, who's playing as a Kaid. But with Kira being very dominant on attack, 2 flawless attack rounds, and Extremis Esports defending on basement laundry might be able to win at least one round on map Oregon, knowing for the fact that that is, map Oregon used to be called as a defender-sided map, but since Kira Esports taking it in a advantageous position here, we're going to be seeing them pushing towards on big tower, especially Kajit. He'll be repelling in, making sure that there won't be any of those surprise attacks from the defenders. Quite surprising, we won't be able to see them. 3 players, actually 4 of them, are right in the basement of laundry and supply room with a deployable shield being placed on both the sides, one on the boiler and the second on the blue bunker, which would be able to give defenders those lines of sight. If one of them goes down, the angles will be the main problem for Kira Esports to eliminate them one by one. Push comes in from Vortex, will be able to down and confirm the Ash, as Vortex will be there to get that first frag. Extremis Esports finally getting that first kill in round 3. They'll be able to make some amends. Frag grenades being thrown from Death Amar, one from the big tower stays and the second from the blue bunker. Won't be able to get the kill because there is an ADSs being placed. Rats deciding to be aggressive as he starts to push in right from the wall, but unfortunately it has already been reinforced, giving Rats no opportunities. A little bit of a small accident coming in as Rats accidentally takes it off, and he's just happy about it. Yeah.
That's a spicy accident right there.
I mean, that is a spicy accident indeed, Jack. And looks like Psycho will be there to get to second frag, eliminating Death Amar, with Rats he has to be very more careful here as he throws up the smoke, but Khajiit will be there to eliminate G Panda. Gypsy on the other hand eliminates a Tharv, but now the opportunity goes to the favor of Extremis Esports as they only have to worry about 2 players who's apparently pushing in from the big tower stairs. Smoke canisters being thrown out. Khajiit will be able to get the head off of Melus. He gets the double kill, as the Salma breach is being used to make lines of sight right from the basement laundry. Gypsy in the basement, as well as we see Vortex doing in the flank duty, will be able to find one, but will it connect is the biggest question here. Vortex is still worried that they may be able to find one, and he will actually win that gunfight, giving Khajiit worried about 3 players, and looks like Round will be there to eliminate the final player of Team Kira Esports. Extremis Esports, with a lot of problems dealing with on 2 rounds, they will be able to win their first round of defense on round 3 basement laundry. As we take a look at it in ACT Fibernet's instant replay, Extremis Esports winning basement laundry. They are yet back again on second floor kids. They are having a lot of problems on this side, but hopefully we might be able to see some comebacks coming in on the side of defense.
All it takes is that first kill and not getting traded in instantly, as that was a beautifully initiated aggression from Vortex on the Jaeger, pushing up on blue bunker. He knew he had to get at least one, and who better than getting Rattler, the Ash, taken off the board for Kira Esports is a big drop, seeing as Rattler has made some amazing plays with the FBI attacker, the most notorious one at that too, as taking him off the board early was a good decision and a good pick. Of course, it wasn't without its risks, because Rattler did have some semblance of cover. Unfortunately, it didn't quite come in time to cover for him throwing those flashbangs. Vortex took advantage of that momentary lapse of judgment from Kira Esports' side, and that was what they needed. Just making sure that Kira Esports, whenever they have a lapse in their judgment, whenever they make a mistake, whether it's technical, whether it's in their push, whether it's in how they position their men or their utilities, that's when they need to pounce. That was very well done from XT, at least in round 3. And that is exactly what I was saying. They need to think ahead against Kira Esports. They need to try and outmatch the way Kira Esports has been outmatching them, and they did well in that last round. Sure, a couple of bodies were dropped, admittedly. Altherb did take a couple of kills alongside Rats, but it didn't really turn out to be fruitful for Kira Esports. That's what matters there. A couple of bodies dropped is nothing if the round is won with 3 defenders remaining. That is what Extremist Esports need to be looking at, the fact that they took a very good round against Kira. As we move into round 4 right now, only the best and most important utilities being pinged from the drones in the Ping 2.0 system. Vortex is going to take a fight against Altherb. Both of them have damaged each other quite a bit, but no body has been dropped, and that's the biggest part for both sides. Altherb, you know he's not going to stop pushing, even if he is down to 5, 7 HP, whatever that number is. And Vortex, same goes to him. 20 HP does not matter, even though most guns in the game can now take him out in just a single bullet. He will still make those flanks. He will still make those plays. And he's right now trying to outplay Altherb. He's going to hear that drone go out, but he's still slow because any sound giveaway is going to be fatal. He's coming up slowly but surely. Altherb is still droning. This could turn out to be fatal for the Zofia right now. Still droning away. The drone's actually coming back. That might spell doom for Vortex right now, although I don't think he's been spotted. Sack is going to go down in the meanwhile, and the Zofia is going to hear Vortex shuffling around, and that's a beautiful turnaround from Altherb as a team kill came out. That's a little unfortunate for the side of XT, as they're going to lose a couple more bodies as both sides are going to be pushing in from the side of Kira Esports. Their tower, their bedroom, as Z-Panda is going to find one, but is that going to be enough? Probably not. The Nomad pushes in, and the kill is confirmed, but it's Rattler from White Stairs, I think, who was the one to take that kill. Came into the bedroom, rotate the hard breach, that is, and just managed to swindle the kill, under the nose of the Nomad. As Kira Esports will once again win on second floor dorms. We'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, ladies and gentlemen. And round 4 goes the way of Kira. They are now 3-1 up in the round count, going to round 5 on second floor kids dorms and dorms main hall once again.
I mean, most of the time, if you do see second floor dorms not being viable on the side of defense, it would have been better to just change the site, at least from the first floor dining or kitchen, or maybe, the first floor of kitchen as well as meeting room. But since Extremist Esports decided to pick that site yet again, in which they lost towards Kira 3 rounds in a row, we're going to be seeing them defending this place yet again. Vortex, I do have to appreciate him. He was concealed his location for a very, very long time, but unfortunately he did not win that gunfight against the Altherb, who was playing as the Zofia. And this time, maybe we might be able to see some a good hold, or maybe we might be able to see the same repeat that Kira Esports has been doing for the past 3 rounds. Most of the push that we do see is Rattler, entering in towards the armory lockers window, in which none of the defenders seems to contest, and then he just rushes in towards the deployable shield and take out the Vulcan shield, which would give the attackers an access to not worry about it and focus on opening up the walls of second floor kids. We do see the action phase will be in play. 2 of those banshees determined will be placed, one on the White Stairs, second in the second floor kids near the walls. But we'll see what's going to happen next as the action phase will come in. Vortex will be in the big tower with the help of a single ADS. Well, when it comes to the attack strategies coming in from Kira Esports, they are definitely making sure to open one, but looks like Vortex is going to eliminate Altherb, who used to be getting those frags. Unfortunately, with that spawn kill from Vortex, he's going to deny it. And already at a man disadvantage for Kira Esports, Extremist Esports. All they have to do right now is just waste a lot of time for the attackers, and that would be more it. A lot of pre-fires coming in from Z-Panda. Will be able to get one, but that nade, but interestingly, will be able to take out those deployable shield. As Z-Panda is forced to push in, the C4 will be able to connect. No, it doesn't, but will be able to tag a little bit of damage to Death Armor, who is surprisingly alive just yet. Rats will be able to rotate back from the White Stairs window. He's just waiting for that perfect execution for the attackers to come in, so that they'll be able to make that lines of access, hopefully be able to eliminate best as possible. Z-Panda choose to rotate back way near the bedroom. He's going to hide his location there. He's waiting for that perfect opportunity to eliminate, and looks like one of the death comes in. It's going to be Goyo downing him, but won't be able to confirm the kill just yet. Death Amar is also, yep, that would be Death Amar being confirmed from Z Panda as we make it into a 3v4 situation here. Rats was on four, who was apparently in the white stairs window, will rotate back yet again to the second floor master bedroom, knowing that the diffuser is dropped down and they need to pick it up. With Rattler pushing in and the attack coordination being confirmed, Z Panda eliminating Rats, but here comes the refrag from Rattler as he eliminates the Goyo. Smoke canisters will come in as the attackers have to wait for a total of 10 seconds for the smoke to dissipate, but they still have those ace Salma breaches being detonated. They can be able to push in or maybe make lines of sight from the second floor kids, but with a lot of time being wasted around, Extremist Esports have the upper hand. Well, Nomad, quite interestingly, in the roof, will be able to drone in at the 30 seconds timer. Flashbangs being thrown in as a good use of smoke gas canisters, which would apparently connect at the door. You know, he actually did it twice in a row. But with that, Khajiit will make his decision from pushing in from the attic. Vulcan shields being detonated will be able to give quite a lot of damage to Khajiit, as Psycho will be there to eliminate Rattler. It all goes down to Khajiit, who is in the attic window, takes quite a lot of damage from the Vulcan shield. Unfortunately, he won't be having enough amount of time to push in, as Round will be there to get that shotgun to eliminate Khajiit. Extremist Esports winning round 5 on second floor dorms as we proceed to round 6. As the score is going to be 3-2 favoring Kira Esports.
The final round before the role swap is in, and Extremist Esports are bringing in the changes that they needed, more specifically in the way they are playing the rounds, not necessarily in their utility picks. It's more about what they're changing. And sure, a Maestro is definitely a very different inclusion than a Wamai, but aside from that one major change, the way Extremists played that round was more on the lines of operator pick and aggression, as in forcing the Maverick back, taking those C4 plays, Deathmar being dropped in that position, Vortex starting things off with a surprise spawn pick, I believe, because there's no way a third could have been taken out like that early. But he was, and kudos to Vortex. That was a little bit of revenge for the previous round as well, as that round went the way of Extremist Esports. Again, it was those early kills that they needed against Kira Esports, and they took when they got the chance. Waiting for Kira Esports to mess up, waiting for their judgment to, fail them in a particular situation, and they took it with storm, with gusto, shall I say. As Basement Laundry is a side of chores going into round 6, and Kira Esports are going to have to change things up as soon as possible, because now they are the ones at risk of getting repetitive and getting cleaned out. Speaking of things that Kira Esports need to, make sure to just shift around, the other thing is how they tackle Goyer shields. Now, I know it's a bit of a redundant point to talk about at this, at this juncture, seeing as it is one round away from a role swap, and Kira will be the ones defending after this. But even then, in 2 rounds, back to back almost, the way Rats and then Khajiit handled Goyer shields was interesting. They just almost voluntarily opted to trap themselves in fire. Khajiit less so, of course, but even then, it was interesting. Right now, we've got a blue bunker push coming in. One of the shields will be popped as a Banshee will be spotted. In the meanwhile, use of the Ping 2.0 system coming out from the side of Kira Esports. They know exactly what they need to do, what they need to pick on, as the Banshee will be taken care of nice and quickly. That's utility burn right there, even though the Wamai is not in play from the side of Extremists. Another Goyer shield seems to have been popped. That might have been the blue bunker one. Yes, it is. But Vortex smartly has pulled back and reinforced it off, knowing that pushing that area is going to be out of his league, as Z-Pan is going to find one. But Gypsy is going to go down in a retaliation from Khajiit, excuse me. And now it's a 4v4. But time is being wasted. Rattler, a third, Khajiit, and Rats haven't made much headway about getting into sight. Sure, the kite may be down, but now there's the Goyer to go down. That's good right there from a Rattler. He will drop another one. The R4C comes in. but will he get dropped? Not quite. Vortex expending a lot of bullets on that long angle right there. Isn't about to find anybody, as some more breaches are going to go off from the ace to find these defenders sitting in those positions. As the push into supply room is coming in. I thought he was going to find one more, but Vortex is here to clap back, and he's going to find one. That's a third. The refrag from the 416. He's going to find one more. There's 3 operators in that vicinity. One has been downed. Kajit, that is. He will be picked back up. Another gas canister goes up, but it's not going to confirm onto anybody, as the final bit of droning is coming out from Kira Esports. Damage is being done, as Vortex is still trying to take these gunfights. He will down one more, and that's Rats. He's going to find a third one to down. Not quite yet, but now the Ace and the Nomad are both down to 20, but he will still drop inside a white, and there's the body drop coming in, as Round, he got one with the shotgun, but Rattler was still alive and more than healthy to go for that peak, as unfortunately the last one standing, the smoke, could not make it happen for the side of Extremis Esports' defense, as round 6 goes to Kira Esports on the attack, who will go into roll swap 4-2 up in the lead, a big lead going to defense on the map of Oregon.
Well, with the Kira winning a total of 4 rounds of attack, the roll swap will come in, as they will be the ones defending. Second for Kisdom is going to be the side 6 pick coming in from Kajit, as he switches from the Smoke to the Wumai. Interestingly, Smoke is considered to be the highest picked operator when it comes to any defense, because of his smoke gas canisters, which will be able to hold the attacker's push for a total of 30 seconds in total if you do it quite right. A Rattler accidentally he shoots Death Amar in the leg a little bit, but he'll just forgive him and just focus on try to open those hatches. Quite interestingly, Rattler is going to open both of those hatches, one from the attic, second from the meeting. But interestingly, we might be able to see some long angles right from that specific hatch to hopefully eliminate one of those players unaware. Maybe not. Well, we'll actually get to see. Rattler, actually, talking about the push that we'd get to see, we did see Rats and Rattler, the 2 R's of Kira Esports, as I'd like to call it. Most of the time, they'd get good amount of early frags, and they actually did quite well on the attack phase of Oregon. But let's see how well their defense mechanisms they're going to be as we proceed to the action phase. Vortex with the Zofia. He was the one who was making quite a lot of praise on defense, but unfortunately he couldn't get the conversion of the win. Hopefully we might be able to see some great attack frags coming in from him. Mute jammers being placed in the walls of the attic, although there is a Kite's electro clause still present. Maybe is placing it on the second floor drones. He'll be able to have one more of his electro clause right in his pocket, basically to try to just trick it as best as possible. We do see Death Amar being also very close. The push comes in, gets the confirmation. Round goes down in Big Tower. Quite unfortunately, even with the drone work, knowing what kind of positioning that he's in, getting that early kill and not getting a refrag, falling back to his site will give Extremis Esports a very bad disadvantage. Rats with the Melusi, the MP5 in hand, should be able to play some of those Melusi's Banshee deterrent quite at the specific spots where the attackers would try to push in. And looks like Rats is using his MP5 to make lines of sight, hopefully on the white stairs. Actually, not from the white stairs, right from the entrance in which most of the time attackers try to push in. As we see Vortex using his KSO lifeline, making a floor hole, hopefully just waiting for any heads to appear right from the second floor kids. We do see Atar pushing in from the armory stairs. We see yet another Ashes breaching charge being placed, I believe from the second floor kids. No, actually right from the armory floor. To be honest, I'm not quite sure where was it, but the push comes in, unaware of where Kai's exact location is. He's going to go down. And with that, Atharva getting the man advantage here as he gets yet another one, eliminating Vortex. Not quite sure where that good kill did come from, but that instant refrag will come in from Psycho as she eliminates one. Gypsy, on the other hand, will be able to eliminate Death Amar in the attic. The nade will come in to try to confirm the suspicions. Well, actually, He's not going to. He's just going to retract back his frag grenades, knows that there is a Womize needs, try to take out both of them, but could not get the third one, as looks like Psycho, she wants more, eliminating Rattler, gets a double kill, equalizing the score count, actually a man count, as we like to call it, but that push from Gypsy will be able to cost him his life. 1v2 situation for Psycho. It is a doable. With 20 seconds left, she needs to find two exact players, and two shots. But looks like Rats well denied. Kira Esports winning round 7 on second floor, kids. As we take a good look at it in ACT Fabnet's instant replay, we did see Team Extremis Esports, especially Psycho and Gypsy, tried to retaliate back even with a man disadvantage, in which both the Jaeger as well as Athar, who made those three impressive kills there. But unfortunately, even with a 1v2 situation, Psycho couldn't get to clutches. As we proceed to round 8, Basement Laundry is going to be the site, and Kira Esports is 2 rounds away to win this match.
An overwhelming lead of sorts has been secured by Kira Esports, 5-2, and that last round was so close to being turned around by none other than Psycho and Gypsy. They gave it their all. Gypsy, that attic push was, of course, a little questionable, shall we say. He could have rotated around, joined up with his teammate, while Gypsy, she was taking kills left and right. But unfortunately, the last two standing for Kira Esports were more than enough to shut her down. No 1v2s today, as Kira are going to continue taking more and more rounds in this matchup. Extremists, like I said, they need to make sure after that one attack down, they don't get repetitive, they don't make the same mistakes, and they change things up. Their problem was getting picked off one by one, making isolated pushes, not going for the setup, and then getting picked off, putting the rest of the team in trouble. They've had this issue before as well. It's been exploited by a lot of teams. Even Demon's Force yesterday were able to play into that a little bit. But Demon's Force, they probably just had a pretty bad day. And Extremists definitely had a very good day yesterday. But today against Kira Esports, a rather different beast than DF is not exactly, you know, the best showing from Extremis Esports. We know they can do better, and they probably will as they go along. After all, competitive Rainbow Six is a gigantic learning experience, and you never really stop learning with this game, even as a regular player. Rats, in the meanwhile, is going to take a lot of damage on Big Tower. He's fallen back. So has Vortex, as former teammates going toe-to-toe have damaged each other a lot, but neither has taken the trump over the other. That's, you know, health lost, not exactly a thing that either team is going to be worried about for the time being. As we know, both of them, they really just don't care. If they see an enemy, and if they think they'll be able to get the kill, they're going to go for the push regardless. Deathhammer right now, in fact, is going to be going for one, motivated by the fact that he's got Rattler to help him out in this situation, as a drone is going to be spotted in a rather odd position on first floor, but that is a different story to what we're seeing unfurl on our screens right now. Deathhammer, he could go for a big flank right now, sees the flashbangs being thrown. He knows that there's somebody on cover. He's going to see the bullet traces, but Z-Panda's going to go take Rats in the meanwhile. That's a big one right there. Looks like that was from an ass charge, and there's a second kill confirmed as the Panda chimes in again. Deathhammer falls, and that is a couple of big drops for Kira Esports as the smoke will push back in through the Goyer shield being popped, and the Electric Claw will go out to make sure Psycho cannot break those with the Ace Salma breaches. Rattler making sure that the rotate between laundry room and supply room is busted wide open as soon as possible for his team. The lines of sight are there. Kira Esports know what they need to do, and even with 3 players, they have a good chance of making this happen. If Extremists don't get in there now, if they don't make their setup, and if they don't execute, then it is not going to work out. Sure, they might not be able to get a breach done on the eastern walls of supply and of course the buffer room out there, but they can open up other lines of sight. That's what they're doing right now. Psycho has pushed up and thrown her summer breaches in a different region of the map to open up some other lines of sight, and looks like there's been actually one that managed to go off on that main eastern wall. Maybe not. Kajit holding from White has got a good angle right now as the smoke is going to rush back in. The concussions are going out, but the smoke gas grenades are going to do so much damage. Z Panda trying to go through the hallway is going to get taken out. Psycho's been down. It's all bodies dropping for Extremist Esports. Their push has fallen apart and it's all down to the last two standing. It's a 2v2 right now, but they don't have time. Round is going for the plant. The Goy will fall in the meanwhile, and Rattler's all the way up and at it. He's rotating back, but it's a post plant for him. 1v2, and he will not secure the kill. Round will be the one to finish it off for the side of XT, as we will see that, I believe, in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. Round 8 is going to go the way of Extremist Esports. A beautiful scramble right towards the end. They needed to do it, and they got it done. It is not over, not at all, as they are 5-3 up, still in favor of Kira Esports going to Basement Laundry and Supply Room once again.
Well, the C4 from Goyo wasn't actually a good idea because he did not expected that aggressive push that came in, eliminating him and gave Round the opportunity to plant. Although it was quite interesting on what kind of positioning that the smoke was in, especially Rattler. He even did throw one of the smoke gas canisters to make sure that the push, which was apparently about to come in right from the electrical, will be able to at least take some major damage, and it eventually did, getting the confirmation on the kill. They did, however, converted it into a, I believe it was a 3v5 into a 3v2, but in the end, Gypsy was the one who made sure that the C4 play wouldn't happen in the freezer, getting the confirmation on the kill and made sure that the plant would stick. And with that, Round 9, Extremist Esports are not out of the fight just yet. We're going to be seeing them yet again attacking on Basement Laundry. Kira Esports, they really need to be careful because they're making those small mistakes. We did see Death Amar being very aggressive in the basement, the blue room, blue bunker as I would like to call it. Hopefully we might not be able to see the aggressive part of Kira Esports, and maybe they might be able to adapt to it. Hopefully try to go passive this time, I guess. But let's see what's going to happen next. As Death Amar yet again taking quite a lot of damage. They want to keep the aggression on. Decides to go for a spawn peek right at the big tower entrance. Will be able to take quite a lot of damage to Vortex. It's more of like a 1v1 battle where Vortex either has to eliminate Death Amar or Death Amar just immediately just takes out. We actually did see that in the first half where Death Amar was on attack playing as the Sophia and the Vortex was apparently playing as, you know, the Jaeger. With that, we're going to be reaching for around 2 minutes or so as we see Psycho holding in an angle, and I believe the Death Amar is apparently being trapped, knowing what kind of location he's exactly in, and that would be near the attics, near the attic hatch. Death Amar in less amount of HP. I do have to apologize for me starting right over there, as the drones will be able to spot. But that shot is going to eliminate Gypsy right out of the bat. What just happened? I did not expect to see that. Death Amar, are you okay? With 10 HP, Death Amar just drops down from the hatch and just instantly get a headshot, as Gypsy he's just having a bad day there. With already one man disadvantage here from Extremist Esports, and that to a Maverick being down, there is no way that they'll be able to open up the hatches. With the Electro Claws in play, the Thatcher being banned, they don't have any means necessary to take out those Electro Claws unless and until if they have to just go right from below and try to open it. But it is going to be way much more difficult for him. C4 will connect as Rats eliminate Round. As we proceed to the dying 55 seconds left, Z-Panda will be able to eliminate Kajit. The Goyo is apparently in the Basement Laundry, but Athar will be there to eliminate Z-Panda. A beautiful headshot. Although we didn't get to see it, but we didn't actually get to see this turnaround from Kira Esports. Vortex with a less amount of HP as he decides to push in from the freezer. Will be able to spot that the defender cam has gone down. With a great amount of angle, will be able to spot the arm and gets that confirmation. Vortex eliminating Rattler, but at what cost? 23 seconds left for the attackers. Vortex in a bit of a trouble. he needs to make all of his shots count, but he'll lose that gunfight yet again with the Kaid Athar with the double kill and a beautiful headshot yet again, which leads down to Psycho yet again in a 1v3 situation, and Rats will calmly eliminate Psycho as Kira Esports will win round 9 on Basement Laundry as they are in a match point against Team Extremis.
Looking back in the Act 5 at an instant replay, ladies and gentlemen, it was that shot from Death Umar. We have to look at that one. We usually look at stuff in the end of the round in this replay, but not today. This shot, hands down, I don't think any of us saw it coming, especially Gypsy right there, as the man was just taken aback. We were taken aback and just all the way back in our seats. That was a huge hype shot from Death Umar. As aside from that, Kira Esports have done one other big thing, which is secure match points. 6-3 up to them, as just like the match against L2K, Extremists have been good in patches and they have been good in certain rounds, but unfortunately they've been a little repetitive, a little all over the place, a little spread too thin, or not spread out enough. And it's just those mistakes that keeps costing them rounds. I really hope they come back to watch these, these VODs once everything is said and done, and review where they went wrong. This is a team that I can see over the course of the league coming back to really dominate if they continue to improve the way they have so far. I know we say this a lot, but just like TRN8 Valiance did in the previous league, climbing as soon as they got the right conditions and the right entry into Division 3 in Season 3, in the last league, they climbed all the way to Div 1, and they gave the best of the best a run for their money. After that, in the SA Nationals, since they have gone a long way, sure, they haven't qualified for the November Majors, but they still came a long way. That is the story that really matters right there. Z Panda is going to start things off by finding Kajit. That is Wamai of the board. Big drops right now, and almost would have found a second one. That was a third of the Kaid peeking, on the main armory corridor window. Deathmar, in the meanwhile, downed, and he's going to be cleaned up on any second now by Vortex, who is slowly closing in on his spray. He's going to see the blood trails, follow it, take him out, and that is now a 3v5. Kira Esports have lost two big bodies once again, and that's a little unfortunate. A couple of unnecessary peaks in back-to-back rounds has put them in these situations, as now the electric claws are going to be taken care of. The breach will come in from Psycho, most likely. As, there we go, one side of the walls has been de-electrified, if you will. And a Turf is going towards the main... Oh no, that C4 is not going to work, and he's going to go down! A cacophony of errors from a Turf is going to lead to his death, as Round is going to be the one to take that kill. Kira Esports falling apart right now, as it's all down to Rattler and Rats, the R&R of the Kira Esports team. As Extremists have pushed them back very well. Are they on the cusp of a flawless round? Rattler pushing up very aggressively. We'll see. One and take Z-Panda's head with the SMG-11. Very well done. He needs to find one more as an impact trick comes out, but Psycho's going to find Rattler. That is the refrag in. Will he find the other one? No, she's going to be down in the meanwhile, as Rats is going to take one. Will he take two? Not quite yet. Pistol comes out. RG-15, there's only so much he can do. He has dropped the diffuser, and he needs to reload. He needs to regroup with himself, get his wits about him, but he won't be able to. Round is here to finish him off. Rats will fall, and Extremis Esports, what are we seeing right now? They're slowly but surely pulling things back. Second floor dorms goes to them, and we'll see that in the Act 5 at instant replay, as round 11 will be in play. And Kira Esports, while they are still on match point 6-4, are looking more and more unsure of themselves as this match progresses.
Well, as we proceed to round 11, second floor kids is going to be the site. Still a match point for Kira Esports, but Extremis for XTM, they still have a chance. They need to win a total of two more rounds against Kira Esports to put this match on overtime. But will it happen? Is going to be the biggest question here. Kira Esports, we did see them make a trial of errors there. One with the early kill from. I believe that was from Round, who did apparently eliminate one of the important players of Kira Esports. Followed up with Death Amar decides to go aggressive by trying to peek right from the entrance. Didn't exactly did get the kill, and also the third Atharv. An unfortunate timing where he had to accidentally throw his C4. He was thinking of trying to retrieve it back, but he did not expect the angle in which the Zofia was holding on. Quickly eliminates him and get the control on towards the attic. As we proceed to action phase, a match point for Kira Esports, and for Extremis, they need to find a way here. Where the three of these pushes, I believe Psycho will be spawned in from the streets, and the other two players will be spawned in from construction, making sure that the big tower controls will be in their hands. We do see rats in the hallways, which connects from the showers and the dining room, and Rattler with the shotgun SMG-11 in hand is going to be playing also very close on the white stairs entrance. Z Panda entered in the garage, will be able to hold the angle. He's just going to wait for that perfect call out, and there you go. The drone work comes in, detecting Rats' location, and with that, Z Panda will be cautious. Rats thinking of going for the shot just yet, goes for the peak, will be able to deal a lot of damage to Z Panda, but he is still alive. And Rats, he is forced to fall back. But for now, he's going to be in the shower corridor for now. We do see that Amar playing also very close on the trophy room. Quite interestingly, not any deployable shield being placed, because most of the time you do see a deployable shield followed up with an ADSs to give more control on towards the second floor bathroom, but unfortunately it did not. But Vortex, that Claymore will be able to eliminate Rats. He actually did knew that the run out from Rats will be exquisite, and he'll be able to eliminate him. And another down comes in as Rattler goes down. Z Panda will be able to get the confirmation, eliminating a third. The heavy push comes in from the Zofia, but Khajiit will be there to eliminate yet another one. Eliminating round, doesn't see the prone works comes in, and Vortex eliminating the final player. As we see Extremis Esports winning round 11, second floor kids. They are one round away to equalize the round against Kira Esports, putting it match to overtime. My God, we are about to reach the round of ones here, ladies and gentlemen. One round for Kira Esports to win against Extremis, and one round to put this match on overtime.
One thing I need to ask of both teams, ladies and gentlemen, what is happening on second floor dorms today? Either team who has gone to second floor dorms on the defense has lost to the attacking team. It happened to Extremis Esports on rounds 1, 2, and 4. And now it's happening to Kira Esports on rounds 10 and 11. Sure, Kira Esports did manage to take second floor dorms back in round 7, but that was when they were in the lead. And now, Extremis Esports, just like Baba said, are one round away from equalizing. One round away from pushing to overtime. After defying Demas Force yesterday, after putting... sure, they didn't quite get to put L2K through their paces, but they gave them a bit of trouble, quite a bit of trouble in some rounds, mind you. It came down to some clutch situations for L2K, remembering one that is fatals with the SMG-11, that 1v3 was beautiful, man. But regardless, the point stands. Even with L2K, they were able to do a little bit of something, but they just weren't able to confirm. Right now, Extremis Esports stand one round away from giving Kira Esports a major run for their money. Kira Esports, they are looking very shaky right now. They may have gone down to basement laundry and supply room, but mind you, laundry was also taken by Extremis in round 8. That was also an execute they were able to make, and they have been doing it back to back, with the exception of round 9, of course. As it is 6-5 in the favor of Kira Esports, who just need the one round to win. Will they be able to secure it this time? They've been losing roamers. They've been losing bodies to unnecessary peaks so far, and that has been their bane. Will they be able to clean up their act? Will Extremists manage to pull things around, or will this be overtime that we see on the first match of the finale day for Division 1 in the first season, ladies and gentlemen? What a season it has been, especially for Div 1, as we've seen a couple of new teams here and there. But those new teams, especially, excuse me, Extremists. Oh, well, hello there. Deathammer with a big runner is going to find Round, but he's been down for his trouble. He probably will be confirmed onto if the attackers have anything to say about this, but none of them are close, remotely close. And the Goyo is going to be making a big rotate from second floor dorms to small tower. Kaj is going to be able to get away with this, as all Deathammer will have as a penalty for that run out is a little bit of health lost. He's down to 20 HP, but that's all he'll have to worry about. Round has been taken care of. That's a big drop for Extremist Esports, as Round is a very influential player for them. The Nomad is down. Map control, most importantly, has been reduced for the side of the attack. And when Oregon against Kira Esports is in play, you need that map control. Gypsy, all right. Interesting decision making, almost that is. Tried to use his blowtorch on a soft wall right there instead of just going through the meeting door. As no damage has been dealt to Kira Esports other than that. They definitely have cleaned up on that act that I was talking about, not losing roamers, not losing bodies to ill-advised peaks, as Gypsy is making a bit of a meal out of breaking that hatch right now. And hopefully he's going to be able to get it done quickly. But Deathammer is going to find another one. That's a double for him. Z Panda will fall. And that's another big one, as this Jaeger on the roam has put this attacking team through their paces. Finds a third, but he'll be refragged onto finally, as Gypsy will shut him down. It's all down to Gypsy and Psycho will drop. It's a 4v1. And Extremist Esports, after climbing so far, their hopes rest on this one man who pushes in. He's going to find one. He's only got a few seconds to make this count, but the Kaid will shut him down. A Turv is there to refrag instantly, as Kira Esports making the changes when they needed to. Deathammer making sure not to get picked early. They are going to be the ones to win Oregon 7-5 going in to round 12. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. The match has been concluded. The first match of two today in the last day of Division 1 in Season 1. Kira Esports are your victors here on the map of Oregon. 7-5 to them, and a very well-played match by Extremist Esports. They just were not able to get the confirmation. They were just not able to continue that streak of rounds in that last one where they really needed it. Very unfortunate for them, as we will look over the highlights of this match in Relive the Moment, going live on your screens right now, ladies and gentlemen. And Baba, please take us through them.
Well, Jack, on the first round, we did see Kira Esports winning a total of 4 attack rounds, especially having to win second floor domes 3 rounds in a row is absolutely amazing. We did see Vortex doing a bit of his roam phase. He did try to eliminate 1 or 2, but he didn't actually get it. But because for the past 2 rounds, we did see Kira Esports getting a flawless win. At that moment, Extremist Esports were around more of like a 0 kills on the entire place. Not to be mean here, but 2 flawless round for the attackers means 0 kills from the defenders. And yeah, talking about that, 2 flawless rounds followed up with Extremists winning on round 3 basement laundry with a beautiful hold, to be honest. And Vortex, he did, however, downed like a total of 2 to 3 players, I believe. 2 to 3 players downed, which gave the defenders to hopefully to delay the push, and they evidently did, winning it out. And then we did proceeded to Deathammer using those 2 frag grenades, one from the big tower and the second from this, followed up with a beautiful kill coming in from him too. And then On round 3 we did see Vortex with that with the flank hoping to get those kills, but he instantly did not expect to see Ace holding around that angle from the big tower, because most of the time whenever there is a 2v4 situation there, you have to always watch the back, in which Vortex absolutely did win that gunfight. And yep, at the last we did see the SMG 11, although this gunfight, although Vortex was very sneaky enough to almost win that gunfight against Zofia, did not win it. And also in a 1v5 situation, yet again, most of the time in the early amount of rounds, we did see Kira Esports getting those around 2 to 3 early kills, and then when at the execution phase, it leads to around 2 players inside, and they have to hold it all they've got. Didn't quite work out well for Extremis Esports, but we did see them winning on round 5 though. Second floor doms being the side in which most of the time Kira Esports were dominating on the specific side. We did see, the trophy hole that came in the smokes apparently from around. He made sure that the push will be able to delay, and he did exactly that. He was in the attic, he threw the smoke canisters in the attic wall, in which it did quite worked out well, and also the Goyo shields to make sure that they would keep the attackers at bay, in which they actually did, causing with a lot of damages being done from the attackers too. With them, Extremis Esports, they did win only 2 rounds on defense, and then we did see a quick pace, where especially Extremis Esports winning around 8, 10, and 11, almost equalizing the score count, but they did not, however, made a proper comeback though. Especially in round 8, we did see Basement Laundry hold, in which Extremis Esports, they did perform very well, eliminating Vortex. They did, however, get the plant in, and they just eliminated this in tight. Actually, this was round 6, I believe. Yeah, I do have to apologize for that. I was talking about round 8, but this was round 6 on Basement Laundry, where Kira Esports had no problem eliminating the defense players. And then Kira Esports, they started proceeding their dominance, winning their first round on defense in round 7, and then round 8 it was Extremis rounds on Basement Laundry. It was more of like a back-to-back rounds, and then we did see Extremis Esports winning 2 times on second floor kids, round 10 and round 11, and then in the end we actually did get to see Basement Laundry, where Kira Esports did, however, win it out. The smoke push, it was a really good hold from Kira Esports, and then Gypsy was there to the rescue, eliminating the Kite, and also the Goya was apparently prepped in from the C4, which leads to Rattler was in the attic room. He was forced to come back from the side, not having good amount of information, and then he just goes down just like that. At Death Amar, this round, my god, Death Amar was on fire today. 10 HP in hand. He just dropped in, gets that, decides to just pre-fire at the entrance, and he did exactly that. Headshot to Gypsy, unaware, and he just fallbacks like nothing happened. He just falls back to the side. He's just 10 HP left, and he just did exactly that. And then, even though with match point remaining for Kira Esports, they did had a lot of problems on second floor kids, but they did, however, manage it out well on Basement Laundry, which was their last final round of side. We did see Rats an attempt to make it an attempt for clutch it in a 1-4 situation, but it could not. All in all, a good performance coming in from both the teams, and Extremis Esports, to be honest, they are improving on both attack as well as on defense, and hopefully if they keep the momentum if they could keep the momentum going, maybe they'll be able to defeat one of the most greatest teams that we've ever known. All they need is a little bit of improvements, and they would just go just fine.
Absolutely. Extremis Esports are a team we will be keeping our eyes on, ladies and gentlemen, as we keep going forward with these matches. They never end. The siege action never stops, as the last round in the moment, that big run out from Deathammer, that was huge right there. And it secured them a kill they needed, because as we've seen, the rounds where round, pun intended, is left alive are the rounds that Extremists have a higher chance of winning. I'm not saying that having that player alive is what gives them the round wins. No, absolutely not. But round is able to make a difference in whichever situation he's playing in for Extremis. Unfortunately for them, it was not to be. Deathamar once again popping off on the Jaeger. He was just unstoppable today, as were Kira Esports, though not as much as they seemed like they would be in the early game. 7-5 was a very close game, ladies and gentlemen, only short of overtime. And Extremis, if their last round had been just a little bit better, would have been able to finish off the round and go into overtime. But that, of course, is a different matter altogether. It's a what-if situation that we will never get to see, as with that, we'll be going into a Be Right Back section, and we will be right back with the final game of Division 1 in Season 1 of the WD Black Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, and it's a little taste of the upcoming November majors. MonkaS will be taking on Union Gaming on the other side of the short break. Stay tuned. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with ACT Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack, and joining me is my co-host, Foxy, as we are here for the second and the final game of not just the night, but also for Division 1 in the entirety of the first season. And what a game to end on. It's a taste of the November majors upcoming, because it's MonkaS taking on Union Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. A big game for both teams as they are hot on each other's trails. More specifically, Union Gaming are leading the entire league right now, and MonkaS are right there on second place. We will see if they are able to usurp the throne tonight, or will Union Gaming continue to reign strong after a tiny little dip that they had in Division 1, Season 5 of the last league. We're already in the ban phase of the map of Cafe Dostoevsky, as that is an interesting ban that we're getting to see immediately. Monty, standard ban right there, but a sledge. Very, very interesting from the side of MonkaS. We're on the attack, banning Sledge, a key component of the hard breach right there for the attackers. I kind of understand why, as they will turn around and ban Mira on the other side on the defenders roster, leaving only one ban slot remaining. That's from the side of Union Gaming, who have a say on the last ban on the map. And we'll find out who that is. Of course, Echo, still default ban, sad echo noises. As the last ban will come in, UG will be taking away Wamai from play today. It's a little bit of an interesting one, as UG are the ones on defense first, but we have seen them play without a Wamai before, and it won't surprise me if they want to bring in some alternative strategies today against MonkaS. They know this game won't be easy. MonkaS knows this game won't be easy either, and both of them want to be at their A game. Speaking of which, let's have a quick look at the rosters. They might not need any introduction, but even then, I'm going to go forward with it. MonkaS on the attack, have Firefly, Lusty Boy, who's playing today. I move to line, definitely Nuben, Jora. We're going to miss QB and his unorthodox strategies, ladies and gentlemen. While on the other side, Union Gaming have brought in Jittery, Sandy, Dagger, Poseidon, and Beat. There's no Sparko and no EX7 for them either. A couple of roster changes aside, we're going to move into round one nice and quickly as Foxy. A big game for a big night. How do you feel?
Well, right off the bat, I feel very excited, but I think the more important point here is that I think this is the first time we don't see Sparko playing in the active roster on EAC. This is indeed the first time, now that I think about it. It's not been before that Sparko has sat out of a game, but that does happen to give more room for the rest of the roster for UG to bring out whatever they do. We do know how influential Sparko has always been to his team, but will we get to see a change up our MonkaS? Will we be able to take advantage of what they have to bring on board? Sadly so. I wanted to see QB play on MonkaS, not just for his very weird plays, but it's just the fact that it's amazing to watch a person like that play. He's built different, and people who know the meme will get what I'm trying to say. But that out of the way, we have the action phase up and running already. Definitely Anub has brought up the buck, because we did see the sledge ban come out, and very interesting ban. Honestly, that was a nice one. Just the way we happened to approach Cafe. Oh, wait a minute. Joda's already pushed up awfully close. He might be meeting a defender any moment now. Oh, that's going to be a move to Lion, and yes, he does go down. That's going to be Sandy with the shotgun. Just happens to go down the stairs and grab off an easy early pick for his team. I still see Firefly a little confused as of to where he wants to go for the peeking right now. But more importantly, it's just the fact that MonkaS has already lost a very important player, and more importantly, you've got 2 whole minutes left for this round to finish. So early kill for the side of Union Gaming, definitely something that they'll be loving to start off this match on. Valkyrie Cam being spotted by the Zofia. Oh, Jora giving me flashbacks of a match out of this league, that is. I'm sure people know what I'm talking about. Zofia trying to get the Valcam, you know. Anyways, that out of the way, We still do have Jora. He's gonna be pushing up, and oh boy, he's spotted the Valkyrie, but the feet of his does get spotted first. That's why he takes some damage. Poseidon knows exactly what he's doing, trying to. Oh boy, I think. No, that's not the case. They do have the buck above. Not sure why they haven't opened the other hatch. Maybe they just don't want to go. Don't want to go face facing that hatch. Maybe I think that's the case. And Ego Jora doing what he does from below. The Zofia doing her stuff. As Firefly Miwan on the other hand is going to pick up a frag. That's the equalizer on the man count. But there's still a whole lot to happen. Sandy goes down. No, goes for the run out, and that'll be Firefly to go down before Jora happens to refrag. And quick turn of events is gonna put Union Gaming on a 2 versus 3 with definitely a noob getting a frag for himself as well. Poseidon throws out a cam for watching the angle all the way on the side of White Stairs. Let's see if he's able to make something useful out of that or not. Poseidon still waiting very patiently, getting these long angles being applied. The breach charge is just not working because you have Beats jammers, that is the mute jammers. They're making sure that you're not allowed so much more utility dump as you usually like to see. Beat playing right below Skylight, that's on the Shaiko spot, as I like to call it. He might be coming face to face with the Zofia. Takes a few shots out, not too many in fact. 2 versus 2, Poseidon gets a frag. Beat gets another. It's a 1 versus 1. Beat has converted into himself. And Lusty Boy will not be able to, oh boy, I almost thought he got the wall bang in. Not be able to find that. As yeah, that was the first round indeed. As apologies, I get a little too confused. It's just because I scramble because I cannot hear the in-game sound. And I'm having to make so many predictions by myself and where the push is happening, where the breaches are happening. But hey, in the end, it was the side of Union Gaming to walk away with that victory. No time left, and a good first round for them to start off. A good early frag that they got for themselves as well. And we'll be expecting so much more. But once again, just letting it out there. Would have loved to see QB play today. He just happens to bring another energy to the lobby. That out of the way, Blackjack, please walk us through the second round.
Absolutely, Foxy. I will do that with great pleasure. And just like you said, MonkaS as a team just entirely are built different. They like to do things differently. And QB embodies that energy that they bring into any game that they play. However, unfortunately for, all of our viewers at home, QB is not currently playing. It is Lusty Boy who is joining MonkaS after a little bit of time away. We haven't seen him in quite a while. And hopefully he can come back in and make just as much of an impact as filling QB's rather gigantic shoes is, that are also built different. I'd like to just sneak that in there. It's going to be a tough ask for him, shall we say. But MonkaS, we have full faith in them as we have in Union Gaming. That first round, an indicator of things to come, as second floor reading is going to be the side of choice from UG, who were playing time for the most part in that first round. They were sort of feeling the water, just making sure they knew exactly what MonkaS were bringing out for themselves, and they have a good feel for that right now. They know the ace will be in play. They know Buck is going to be forced in play with the lack of the sledge. Now that I think about it, another thing that goes in favor of that sledge ban is the fact that doing the chef's nade from below on second floor or third floor sites is going to be that much harder, because grenade operators like Sledge, who can also double as main soft breach operators, aren't exactly easy to come by. Sure, one can say Zofia's impact grenades deal damage as well, but they're not the instant kill that a grenade is, and just the satisfaction of a chef's nade. That's just another thing altogether. So the sledge ban is definitely going to be hitting MonkaS a little bit here and there, and they're going to have to try and play around that, but definitely the noob is going to start things off as he will find Beat. That's a big drop. The mute goes down, and Sandy will find one more. Poseidon finds Ishan in the meanwhile, as Sandy will drop. More shots are being fired. Poseidon's going to find one more. No, he won't. Bodies are dropping in the meanwhile. A knife came out from Jora onto Jirri, and definitely Noob is going to shut down Poseidon, leaving this Maestro, Dagger, the last man standing in a 1v3. He's got the Alda in hand. He's got a bunch of intel that he can work with, but does he have the room that he needs to make this clutch happen? Sitting on 90 hallway, he's going to find one, not quite yet. The Ash dropping onto pillars, giving him a bit of trouble. He's going to be forced to pull back towards site. He's still playing the 90 hallway, mind you, as Jora's making a push into reading Dagger. He's going to see one, tries to deal some damage, but definitely Noob is better in that high ground position. And there's a push coming in from the back in Laundry. The plan's going off, but it won't matter. Jora will be the one to finish off Dagger as the second round will go the way of MonkaS' attack. They are sparing no quarter, as this second round was a very good, emphatic round from the side of the attack. We'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, ladies and gentlemen, as round 2 is going to see an early game equalizer between both teams, as of course we expect no less from this beautiful game that we have on board for all of ourselves and our viewers at home. Second floor reading is going to be the side of choice going into round 3, as I mean, there's only so much I can say without overstating that point.
Well, yeah, I would say the push from the side of definitely a Noob happened to spearhead the attack that MonkaS was trying to gain, and that was perfectly well done. Definitely made sure he got himself 2 frags for the opening at least, and we did see the players of UG scramble a little bit. You know, that was somewhere we did see the rest of the players from MonkaS able to take the advantage for themselves, at least convert that into a man advantage very early into the round. They left Dagger in a little bit of a spot, but I wouldn't really say that Union Gaming is looking the way they used to. I mean, I say the way they used to. That is from yesterday itself. I mean, it's not like we've had a long break between their matches, but it's just the fact that they're looking a little off, and because you happen to be on Cafe, you don't want to lose so many rounds on defense. It's still a 1-2-1, but the composure from the side of the attack looks so much more in control and so much more like they're looking to seal the deal this time around. We will see Jora. He's back on the Ash. He'll be employing a little opening in the barricade because he wants to go for the white push. There's Poseidon he's gonna have to meet soon if he happens to go for that. Let's see if he happens to go for it or not. But so much emphasis in terms of how the information trade-off was this time around. Dagger, once again, he's on the Maestro with the Valkyrie being played. Beat is making sure the denial comes in from himself. That is the mute. It's working really well for them. But for how long is the real question. Jittery once again on the Shaiko spot. Might as well start calling it the Jittery spot because how amazing he plays. Wow, let's look at that shot. Firefly, say good night. Jittery did notice the rappel on that rope hanging by the window. He made sure that he waited for the head to pop off, and quite interestingly, so just as I happened to say how amazing of a player Jittery is, he happened to prove it as well. Prove that mid-sentence. Really good stuff from the Jaeger. Is still looking to pop some heads, but before that, he's gonna have to meet some aggression from the side of the attack once again. The Heart Breacher on the side, one of the Heart Breachers from the side of MonkaS has definitely taken a fall, but that shouldn't put them in a huge disadvantage, at least not yet. The push from definitely a Noob will be in, and he might be meeting Sandy any moment now. There's a C4 that goes off in distance. I think that is what it was. Yeah, I think that is what it was. But the push is still into place. Definitely a Noob. Awfully close. Sandy meanwhile walks away with the frag. Jora takes the fall, but here's definitely with a very good secure frag for himself and his team. 3 vs 4. We've got the top control done. But at what cost? You've lost 2 players already. That's one of your Heart Breaches and Jora on the Ash. So much more utility that you could have used at least from the side of MonkaS to try and take out Dagger's Maestro camps, but right now it's going to be Lusty Boy taking out ahead, and that'll be Jittery relieved of his duties, at least for this round. 3 vs 3 is back into place, and we've got only 30 seconds left. This is a very difficult position for MonkaS to play in, honestly. They've got to make sure whatever they're trying to pull off does happen to be fruitful for them towards the end, because they're wasting so much more time right now on the top floor. They've got to make sure that they go for this push, as if not, it just won't be in their favor. Dagger on his camps is just gonna sacrifice one of his Maestro camps at this point. It's okay. 10 seconds left. The push is in. Poseidon gets a frag. Dagger's trying to find whoever is coming up from the main doorway. There goes another. That'll be beat to get. I move to the line. Lusty Boy, he's just gonna save up. But there's no up in this game. He's gonna die, and that'll be beat taking the frag towards the end. The double kill from the mute. Good positioning once again from the side of Union Gaming. We'll be taking a quick look towards the end of the round there in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. What just happened? like I said, too much emphasis Union Gaming has in terms of information. They know exactly what's happening. They are totally in control. At least in the last round, they knew exactly what they were doing. So loving the emphasis of the information ops from UG and the conversions, more importantly, that we did get to see come out from the side of the defense. And just as I happen to stand corrected before we went into round 3, like I was talking about, that all right, UG not so composed. I'm gonna take my words back. Looks like they got their mojo back, and yeah, that was a reference to one of the Never Diamonds players, but no, just kidding, people. That out of the way. Lame jokes aside, we've got round 4 on the way, and Blackjack. How do you think this round is gonna go ahead?
Well, the way we've seen it all go down so far, MonkaS have a good chance of taking this round as well. Then again, so do Union Gaming. There's really no way to slice it. Most of these rounds, depending on how... well then, that's just a little bit of a funny moment, you know, haha clip, YouTube clip, shall we say, from Sandy, just dropping Jittery down the hatch, because why not? You know, sometimes you just see your friendly teammate on a hatch and you want to drop them down below, and okay. 3 ADSs on the white stairs railing. Yeah, sorry, I accidentally turned into a Minecraft villager right there. But coming back to the point at hand, yeah, it's very interesting to see what Union Gaming is bringing out today. I'm not sure if that's meant to be, you know, them just chilling and they'll be switching things around as quickly as possible, or if that's actually something they want to consider right now, while MonkaS are just watching for the runouts, covering their backs, and getting the intel started, getting their drones in place and their utility dump, which they need to do in... underway, almost underway. Jura's John unfortunately drops down the hatch into second floor mining. He's going to bring that back up via red stairs, which is being watched, mind you. There are castle barricades coming in from the side of Union Gaming. They brought the castle out on third floor. We've seen this before from them, and there we go, Jittery. Like I said, it was just a little bit of a chill zone for him, and he has finally switched around those ADSs to where they really need it, where they are really needed. Piano is going to be reached any second now. That is Lusty Boy making sure that there are no interferences from the mute, as flashbangs are going to be thrown in to make sure Beat, who has been spotted presumably inside of this area in Cigar Shop, is uncomfortable. Lusty Boy is going to find Sandy. That's a refrag for the kill earlier onto Jora. Unfortunately, the shotgun didn't quite work out for Sandy. He's found one, but that's C4. That's a big one. He's going to find definitely a noob. That's the spearhead of the attack for the side of MonkaS, as Beat's gotten a big one, and he's trying to find more. Firefly under fire. He's going to find the mute. Yes, he is. That is a kill confirmed for him, as the round will continue on in a 3 versus 3, and both sides have taken big damage to their operators. Dagger barely alive right now, as our I move to Lion, Ishan that is, and Firefly, he's a little low, but in a much better position than the other two we just talked about. Red Stairs has been taken control of. Cigar Shop, from the looks of it, can be taken, but then they have to worry about Poseidon just on the other side of that castle barricade, waiting for it to be blown open, waiting to spot somebody coming into Piano or inside a Cigar Shop, waiting for the utilities to be used from the side of MonkaS. Shots are fired. That's Dagger finding one more. Firefly goes down. That's a big drop as well. And there goes Ishan. And a trade to finish it off from Jittery, as he will find Lusty Boy and get found as well. Union Gaming, well, they may not have looked composed in the first 2 rounds, but oh boy, do they know exactly what they're doing right now. More than that, MonkaS are the ones who look a little fettered, a little rough around the edges, and they're going to have to fix that as we move along to the upcoming rounds. We'll have a look at the last one in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, ladies and gentlemen. It was a round and a half from both sides, but MonkaS could not handle the end of the round kill streak from Union Gaming, and they're going to have to try and switch that around, as we have a 6-pick coming out from Poseidon. The Mozzie switched out for the Malusi, and we're headed to first floor kitchen service and kitchen cooking.
That's right, a good advantage that I see Union Gaming taking away. They happen to be on defense, and this is stuff I expected from them. We do know for a fact that MonkaS happened to bring this map to us. It was between Cafe or Consulate. MonkaS got the decider, and they brought us to Cafe. And Union Gaming quite is pretty self-explanatory at this point. You want to start off on defense because it is a defender-favored map, and I see Union Gaming taking perfect advantage of that. Good stuff from them, except for that one round MonkaS have to walk away with. But I won't really blame them. It's not like MonkaS is an easy team you happen to play against. Got to put out your best to make sure MonkaS stays at bay. Right now, it's Red Battler is popping off as I speak about it. That's great. That's good stuff. Honestly, that's very satisfying to watch. And just take a quick look at that out of the way. I got beat this time around on the Maestro, while Dagger will be on the Jaeger. I'm loving the operator role swaps. Sandy's on the Vigil. We've got Jittery on the Mute. Very, very distinctive and diversified role swaps, honestly. Like, Jittery was playing the Jaeger. He's gone on the Mute. And oh, never mind. Jora already starting things off. Where did he get that from? The prep room push was in, and Dagger already took the fall. It's Beat who's going to be up next on the chopping block, unless, of course, he gets it. No, he looks away at the wrong time, but he still gets it anyway. Jora takes the fall, and that was such a huge misplay from both the sides. Beat somehow happened to stay up on top of it. Now Lusty Boy, meanwhile, is going to get a frag on a Jittery. Poseidon's going to refrag. Beat gets another. Firefly's here to get a frag on a Poseidon, and all of a sudden, it's a 2 versus 2 people. We have found ourselves in a very quick round. This was as it's going to come down to a stall point now. Both of these defenders will be waiting this out. We got the pressure building up. Firefly with the diffuser has to push up. Beat has got to win this gunfight, but it's a Blackbeard that he's fighting. That is without a shield, of course. Very interestingly so. Is Firefly not putting on his shield? No, he's lost both of his shields. Quite interestingly, looks like we missed the entire part of the action that went on the other side of the map. Right now, it's going to be Sandy who's regrouped back onto site with his teammate. Sandy and Beat, the dynamic duo as I like to call it. They'll be making sure they try and keep things alive for them. No, Beat did know where that push is coming from. But it's a little too late to react. Vigil is here to get that free frag. But Dilly get the second of Firefly finishes him up. And what was that round? Quick kills, quick trades. More importantly, is just quick stuff that just happened. A very quick round indeed. As we'll be going ahead and taking a look at that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. What a round. Round 5 was once again, it was on the side of MonkaS. They finally managed to walk away with that round. But hey, we might get to see Union Gaming taking this one. And if they do, they'll be walking away with the halftime, at least in the fairly advantageous position. And that is something you're expecting out of them as well, right? 4-2 on a defender-favored map. Something you want to walk away with. But it's MonkaS that I don't want to count off this competition. It could be their rounds to convert, could be Equalizer coming in. Let's find that out.
The refrag roundabout between both teams continues, ladies and gentlemen, as we will be going into round 6, the last round before the roll swap. 3-2 in favor of Union Gaming, who in that last round, again, that prep room push from Jora, while he got a good kill, unfortunately, was not able to continue getting those kills as the Maestro was able to finish him off. That was Beat in that round, of course. Now it's Dagger playing the Maestro, just like we've seen from Union Gaming. Looks like we're gonna have to go into a rehost, ladies and gentlemen, coming out from the side of MonkaS. They seem to have had a bit of a sound bug plaguing them. So we'll be right back with this match. The match is only getting started. Knowing these two teams, it's about to get more and more exciting as it goes along, as it is 3-2 in favor of UG. And the point that I was saying, just going off of Foxy's point in the last round, the fact that Union Gaming, they just keep changing the operator roles. That one round it's Sandy with the Melusi, the next round he's got the Vigil, and the next round he's got the Maestro, the next round he's got the Valkyrie, playing very different operators at any given point in time. And it's not just Sandy, of course. You have Poseidon doing it, you have Dagger doing it, as he took over the Maestro role for second floor reading from Beat, who had Maestro in first floor kitchen. So it's those operator changes that keep changing up the way Union Gaming approaches any particular round. We've seen it even when they're playing with Sparko and EX7. They change things around, for the most part, outside of EX7, almost insta-locking the Valkyrie, in most situations, of course. But outside of that, it is definitely a very good operator swap that we see coming out from them in these matches. It's always a fun time to watch Union Gaming play, but it's also a fun time to watch MonkaS play as they can shift, radically between a conserved utility-based playstyle to a very hyper-aggressive, all over the place kind of playstyle, and they make both work. That's one of the big things about the side of MonkaS, and with QB in there, he, like I said, he is a player who radiates that energy. He embodies the MonkaS energy of just being out there, being unorthodox. Unfortunately, like we said a couple times, he won't be playing tonight for MonkaS, as Union Gaming are also missing, of course, Sparko and EX7. And the rehost is, of course, in play. But the rounds that we've gotten to see have been pretty interesting. Neither team has had any major mistakes made, per se, outside of when it comes down to that mid to late round, shall we say. Because whether it's a attempted rush from MonkaS, whether it's a Red Stairs hatch drop or a skylight drop that goes RI, or a piano push, or maybe even a prep room push coming out from the attacking team, it's either Union Gaming taking it in stride and winning those gunfights, or being taken out by the push coming in from MonkaS. It's one or the two, and it's sort of like this back and forth that teams have had so far in this match. That is why we're seeing a 3-2 scoreline going into, of course, almost a roll swap. It is, of course, 3-2 in no one's favor. The bans, however, are another thing altogether. We have Montaigne, Sledge, Mira, and Wamai. Mira, Wamai, Montaigne, no surprises right there, but Sledge, interesting ban. Of course, given the fact that he is a very vital soft breach component, along with the grenades that he can use with plenty of intel that MonkaS loves to use, they are going to be looking to change things around for sure in this matchup. That is, of course, if they are able to keep doing that. MonkaS, they want to keep doing that. They would like to, but against Union Gaming, there needs to be a semblance of consistency as well. And who knows how far they'll have to take that semblance of consistency. The rounds, as they went down, of course, were round one went the way of Union Gaming on third floor bars defense. It was a big round from UG, mind you. They started off pretty strong, but then MonkaS, they clapped back in round two, going to second floor reading on the attack, winning that in their favor. It was great. That top floor push, spearheaded by definitely a noob, that was definitely something they really needed. Oh, it was indeed. Round 3 and 4, in the meanwhile, went the way of Union Gaming. Second floor reading once again. They re-attempted the side, made some minor adjustments, got the win, and then on third floor bar in round 4. Again, some minor adjustments, and that's the win for them. Interestingly enough, that Castle Barricade Ella shotgun strategy, that seems to work out quite well for them. I'm going to have to try and see if I can work that around with my squad later on in ranked. But that's just an old-timer joke, shall we say. And then, of course, we had round 5 on First Floor Kitchen, the last round that we got to see that MonkaS took on the attack. The refrag roundabout, as I called it, between both teams, because it was refrag after refrag. Ash gets a kill, gets refragged. That's Maestro. Maestro gets a kill, gets refragged. And it was just all over the place between both teams. It was an amazing sight to see. But with all of that being said, round 6 will be the round we'll be coming back from, as it is 3-2 in favor of Union Gaming. And we are going to be going live with the match right now, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. The match is back on your screens in just a quick moment, of course, as the score 3-2 will be coming back as well. It's going to be a fantastic game between both teams as we are back live, I hope. And
we will be in just as quick second.
Just making sure everything is set and ready.
Yes.
You can never be too cautious when setting up the lobbies. We've had some issues in that before, but looks like even Jora's gonna hit us with the hope so.
Let's not waste any more time and get you guys the action right now, people. We'll be going into the match, and we will be going into the match, people, as we have a little bit of a philosophical outtake to the question I happened to ask. But yeah, that out of the way. That out of the way, we are underway, people, on to round 6. That is the last round before the roll swap, just like Blackjack happened to mention before we went into the match. That is just a moment ago. But once again, we're back on the reading room as the defensive side, and once again, we've got the emphasis from UG on what they happen to bring out. Usually, not normal stuff, standard stuff for UG, and it's good to see them operator swap so much, but it's weird to see them do that, you know? You happen to bring out somebody whose playstyle is different and you're just trying to throw off your opponents. Is that what you're trying to achieve? I'm not sure, but that was a good attempt. MonkaS were a little too wise to know what is coming up, and they made sure they got that round victory, at least the last one. 3-2 is indeed the scoreline. Like I said before we went to the quick rehost, the fact that we might get to see a 3-3 walking into round 6 is it'll be very ideal for MonkaS to happen to be on that equalizer scoreline, but we know UG does not like to give up, and we might as well see them take a 4-2 advantage already. Poseidon watching this little angle that he's got for himself on the barricade of the window. Nobody to claim so far. He did hear the rappel go out, though. I don't really blame him, but it's MonkaS once again emphasizing on the top floor. Push and breaches and whatnot, everything being expelled right here. Sandy will be the first one they'll happen to exchange gunfire with. Melusi still holding down very strong and very comfortable as well. He's just gonna fall back to the dark spot. He might as well see the push coming in any moment now. No, it's just Sandy fighting away, giving away his position as he happens to just step back for a bit, as he's got support from the rest of his teammates as well. There you go, Dagger opening up his Maestro cams. Jittery's on this pixel angle. Sandy, excuse me. Meanwhile, is gonna rip out a C4 and not connect to anything. No damage done either. Sandy's just gonna have to fall back. You still see MonkaS going very slow and methodical about this. Good stuff from them. Making sure that they happen to isolate the defender on the side of Cigar and, you know, just happening to flush him out and back. Sandy's sadly gonna have to play on the back foot, but he's got Jittery to support from the white stairs. Oh, that could have been a kill, but definitely a noob, excuse me, is all the while more wiser. Not attempting to re-peek that. Sandy's fallen back along with Jittery, Dagger, along with Jittery and Poseidon, that is. We won't be seeing a whole lot of huge emphasis in terms of how the top row is being held, but Joda is taking some shots from below, that is. He does not know that until now. He's gonna watch that open angle that he's got for himself. Maybe that is in fact opened by a defender. I'm not sure. Not sure how that hole came into existence, but that line of sight is there, and that is what matters right now. Definitely a noob going for this push on the white stairs all by himself. He's got a drone to help him with, but he's got to be careful. There's a pixel angle being watched, definitely. Oh, this is so scary. Jittery is trying to find that head, but definitely does not know there's a bullet hole. And just as people like to say, you know, Blackjack happens to call it a utility simulator. They say a pixel moves and you try and find the head. That's what. That is what Jittery is out looking for. Oh, he did miss the Zofia just a second ago. He's gonna find her anyway. Jittery takes that frag. Meanwhile, we did see Joda take the fall as well. Jittery wants to go for the quick rotate upstairs. This is a great. Oh, but he happens to drop before the ace goes for the drop, and a huge confusion in terms of what just happened in that little hatch drop doorway. But there's no time left, people. Round 6 will be Union Gaming's. As it's standard defense, textbook defense from them. Nothing new and nothing out of the blue. Like I said, they'll be walking away with the advantage in the lead, at least for now. 4-2 is going to be the scoreline as we go ahead. Excuse me. On to round 7, that is the second half of this match. And now it'll be MonkaS on defense, so we might see a possible comeback, a potential comeback coming in. But from the looks of it, it is going to be a uphill task for the side of the defense right now. Shouldn't be that much of a difficulty knowing that they are on defense. Bar and Cocktail Lounges is going to be the first side, and round 7 is underway.
A couple of 6-picks right there going out of the castle and the Twitch into the Operation Steel Wave operators right there from both sides. Melusi and Ace being brought in from MonkaS and Union Gaming respectively. Round 7 roll swap is going to be in play, and after that last round, Union Gaming will have plenty of momentum and high morale to go around going into round 7. It's going to be a pretty interesting 7th round, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed farther and farther into this match. As now, on a defender side of map, MonkaS only have 2 rounds to go with, and they're going to need to get more rounds on the defense. It's a difficult position for sure, but it is far better than a 1-5 or, dare I say, a 0-6. Now, given that it's MonkaS, of course, those 2 situations seemed far more improbable than had it been any other team. But even then, you can't exactly count it out. A bad day, a bad couple of rounds for any team will, and usually does, spell disaster for them. MonkaS so far have managed to somewhat avoid that, and they're going to need to continue avoiding that more and more and getting more and more rounds under their belt. Jora making sure that all of the goo mines are in place as the final bits and pieces of the utility is going to be taken care of, and a hatch opening signifying the fact that MonkaS know they need a quick escape route if things get dicey, and they're going to make sure that the laundry hatch is busted wide open for exactly that reason. As we quickly approach the 2-minute mark of the action phase right here, Dark Spot is going to be called into question from the side of UG. They already know that it's Jora playing here with the Legion and the T5 SMG with the newly added 1.5x. Pretty dangerous combo if you ask me, as he has been allowed to play there for now. But for how long? How long are Union Gaming going to allow MonkaS to get away with these little bits and pieces here and there? Because time is of the essence for UG. Meanwhile, Miney is going to be under contention, but definitely is going to find a beautiful shot onto Jittery. The Ash goes down, and now Dagger, who's inside of Mining, has faced a little bit of adversity. He's trying to wallbang somebody, and gets the head, but gets refragged onto by the roaming Jaeger, as definitely is going to get his second Firefly. However, he's not going to be too happy about that, getting wall banged on what might have been the last bullet as Sean finds beat, but there's the Jaeger taken care of by Ace. Bodies are dropping left, right, and center. That was Sandy taking care of the Jaeger, shutting down his reign of terror exactly when Union Gaming needed it. But now they've got a minute and a 3 versus 2 situation, as the lines of sight, the crossfire angles have been established, even with only 3 players remaining. Goo mines are going to be going off, and MonkaS are going to have intel to work with. Intel from the Legion, that is always important. This operator just gets so much more powerful towards the end of the round. Goo mines all over the place. It's either damage or intel. He can trade both cards. Usually does, but no, that's a little bit of a bad peek right there from the man himself. Jora was going to go down, but Sandy unfortunately realizes a little late that he's not actually packing smoke grenades, but we know who is. Lusty Boy. He's going to throw one in, but it's not going to do any damage. Poseidon is going to be going for the plant just by the desk, but it's heard out. Damage is done, and the diffuser is dropped with only 9 seconds remaining. It's all down to Sandy. He needs to find 2 operators. Will he? He's going to see the smoke take him out. It's a triple kill for him, but he needs to find the Valkyrie. Oh, and he on ADSs at the wrong time, and he will get taken care of as a Sean will shut him down, giving round 7 to MonkaS. We'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, ladies and gentlemen, as UG, they almost took that round. Then MonkaS started bringing it back, and they brought it back very well indeed, dropping the diffuser when they needed it and holding on the late round. First floor kitchen is going to be the side of choice as we go into round 8, and MonkaS are 1 round closer to equalizing.
A good attempt of an equalizer coming in from MonkaS. They might as well be getting a 4-4 onto this round as we go ahead. Let's see what we have for ourselves, and looks like one Navy SEAL is gonna get opted out, and the other one is gonna get opted, and the Valkyrie goes out for the Pulse, and the Blackbeard comes in for, I forgot which operator that was, but that out of the way, we still do have ourselves the emphasis of the Blackbeard employed from both the sides. Interestingly so, I haven't really seen a huge Blackbeard-centric cafe match go out, but maybe this time around that is the case, because both these teams have been a little more frag oriented. We did see them go for the bakery pushes, then the prep runs, and whatnot. At least that one round that did come down to those trades of that Blackjack happened to talk about during a little break in the rehost. But hey, it is in fact a very interesting match in terms of how it's shaping out to be one. And once again, I would like to emphasize on the fact that the sledge ban is something that has shaken up both the sides quite a bit, because you're having to employ very different set of soft breach apart from what you generally get from the sledge, right? You have his hammer to take care of the hatches for the top float push, and usually just the way the tier 1 teams at least go about this is you want to go for a top floor roam control and the map control, and then from there gradually make your way downstairs, if the site is downstairs, that is. But that out of the way, so much more soft breach potential taken off right off the bat with the sledge ban. Apart from that, the chef's grenade movements, like bringing out the nades from that person, is so influential on this map, and it takes me back to one of those days of with UG and some of the MonkaS rosters as well. They happened to be on one of the LANs, that is, in fact, the Esports Club LAN that happened in January at Comic Con. At that LAN, I did happen to have a little bit of conversation with the sides of these players, and they did mention on the emphasis that Buck and Sledge had. Well, back in the day, it was Buck as well, right? So I think somewhere in the lines of that, taking away Sledge has already crippled a player from either of the sides bringing out what they usually do with the nades and with the soft breach and with that gun that he happens to offer. But enough of me talking about Sledge. The C4 comes out. That does not claim, because that's not a place that you can C4, Ishan. That's okay. But that's not okay, actually. I was not expecting that coming out from a Div 1 team. And not MonkaS. Line, he makes it up for that anyway. We just got to take the fall as he gets that frag with the UMP. Seeing the suppressor being employed by Firefly. I've seen this quite a bit when Firefly happens to play. He just likes the emphasis of the suppressor. And Dagger already picking up a fight on the Zofia, that is, with the Jaeger. Gonna be definitely a noob. Man has been amazing with his plays, but he's a little confused. And Dagger is gonna make sure that he happens to make use of the man being confused for now. Making the push, but here's Line again. He happened to just sneak right beside him, crouch walk into sight, and very interestingly so, some of that worked. The spray and pray. Firefly meanwhile gets another. Firefly gets double. Where did that happen? Oh boy, I think that was on the freezer. That's the diffuser drop, but here's Sandy in a 1 versus 4. He's gonna find a first frag. It's gonna be on the Jora. 15 seconds left, no diffuser in hand. It's all the way on the other side of the map. Line will be going for the peak any moment now. He wants to, that is. UMP in hand. He knows exactly where he's coming in, and that's just a distraction. Lusty boy will be the one to finish him off, and quite the round once again. The equalizer does come in from the side of MonkaS. Like I said, you happen to be on defense, on Cafe. You want to make sure you make the best use of it. We'll be taking a quick look at what just happened in the last round, the dying seconds of the last round. In the ACT Fibernet instant replay, not much action, but does speak volumes in terms of how MonkaS happened to approach this defensive round. Once again, very frag heavy, not shy to pick any gunfight, and I think that is what has brought us to this 4-4 scoreline. And that being said, we'll be proceeding ahead on a round 9.
Just like you said right there, Foxy, it is definitely frag heavy between both of these teams. They are bringing out every single bit and piece that they can, and it's working out, at least for now. MonkaS have brought it back by 2 rounds. They have equalized on round 9, putting this match ever so closer to that coveted overtime situation. Will it go that far? We're going to find out in just a bit. More specifically, in about 2 to 4 rounds, probably. And, I say 2 rounds because at the end of that, if Union Gaming or MonkaS, whoever happens to be on match point, gets another round, well, then that's it. That's game. But if it goes to overtime, then color me a very happy caster, as, it's that time. I think everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. But right now, coming back to round 4. Second floor reading is probably the site where a big shift in the momentum happens. Usually, sometimes at least, attackers end up taking this site and taking it with such gusto that they start winning rounds on third floor bar and first floor kitchen. But given the fact that it's MonkaS on the defense who are going to be bringing the fight to Union Gaming instead of just sitting back and letting UG come in to fight them, it might not go that way. MonkaS might retain their momentum, the little bit of it that they've gathered up so far in this game, and Union Gaming might be the ones facing the music. We'll find out, of course, as shots are already fired. At least that was the MPX firing away from Ishan on third floor. More shots are fired as Sandy's going to make his way into Piano. The breach quickly with the skeleton key of the Buck, making sure that entryway is not an issue. Ishan in the meanwhile opening up vertical angles on a Cocktail Lounge. Third floor, he's got definitely a noob, the Ella, to help. But no, that's a good angle being played by Dagger, who's going to light up the Jaeger. And that is a Jittery to finish him off. Firefly falls. And that's a big drop early from the side of Union Gaming. They needed him out, as Jora's going to be the next one to take some damage. But he's done some damage back to Poseidon, who is probably inside a mining room right now. Just train museum, just waiting to get in there. Definitely, however, peeking with the Scorpion on this angle. Not exactly advised as you're slowly creeping into long-range territory. And against the C8SFW, ooh, there's some damage being done there. Definitely is tagged up, but he's alive, and that's what really matters. Summer breaches are going off on towards the fireplace room, the plant side that Union Gaming wants to emphasize on. But you've got Jora from the White Stairs. You've got two operators above waiting to get the drop on Union Gaming, quite literally, alongside, of course, Lusty Boy, who is in sight. Mind you, the last time these two faced off was in the previous league, ladies and gentlemen, and MonkaS did give Union Gaming a lot of trouble, but Jittery right now is going to make sure that that doesn't happen. He's going to find one, he's going to find two. Yes, he will. Sandy finds one more. That's a refrag off for the kill on Beat, as Jora is suddenly the last man standing. SMG11 is going to find one. Will he find two? Needs to rotate out quickly. He won't be able to, but the plant hasn't been confirmed quite yet. SMG comes out again, does a lot of damage to Poseidon. Dagger's the one planting, and there's a down confirmed. Does he know that? Not quite yet, but Dagger's the last man standing. He's gonna go for a peek, tries to find the mute, does so much damage, but Jora! He comes out with the SMG11, confirms on the last two standing, as Union Gaming will not take the lead back. It is MonkaS to bring it in on round 9, as they will take the lead for the first time in this game with a beautiful shot from Jora to finish it all off. We'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. It was persistent shot after shot after shot to down one and to find Dagger, who was trying to make a quick rotate through the fireplace, getting taken out, as it is now 5-4 going to round 10 in favor of MonkaS.
I've got to give it to the man, the quad kill clutch coming in the 1 versus 4. In fact, first he got the collateral with the spray from the SMG11 all the way on the 90 hallway, and then it was the 1v2 that he had to fight against, going for the quick peek, just a bullet or two, coming back, not exposing more than just his shoulder. That was prime stuff. That was prime performance from that man on the SMG11. Movement on point, recoil on point, time management on point, and clutch on point. Amazing stuff from Jora, and MonkaS, like Blackjack said, will be taking the lead here, people, against all odds. And that was one hell of a round to witness. Great stuff from the man, and they now stay 1 round away from match point. That just speaks volumes in terms of what MonkaS just happens to bring on board. Man, honestly, I'm a little too impressed by what I just saw. But hey, this match has got to go on, and yes, it will. Jora once again is going to be back on the smoke, but definitely on the Jaeger, and Immortaline is going to be on the Valkyrie. We got Jittery once again back on the Asher. Good. I've got to give this to UG as well. They did manage to get a good side control. You know, they happened to pick out everybody from the side of MonkaS one by one, but everybody but Jora. Very obviously. That was a good round for the man. That's definitely going up in the highlights. It is making it there, I'm sure. I'm definitely sure. But that out of the way, we've got Poseidon. He's just chilling out right now. He's trying to break barricades and trying to find any strays who happen to be going for the peaks. And speaking of that, Lusty Boy, keeping this white window. Firefly is back on the 90 hallway. This time around, it'll not be definitely a noob. Where is the man? Oh, he's actually going head on first to this library doorway fight that he wants to be taking. Just not yet. That's not the right time. He knows that. He's fallen back. Wants to play this a little more on his front foot. That is inside the hard cover that he has. That inside the map, that he doesn't want to go for the runouts. We did see a kind of aggression come out before, but no, not this time around. Dagger is gone for the east rappel, and looks like it's an east emphasized push from the side of unit. Wait a minute. Jittery is okay. Sandy and Jittery are already inside very quickly, honestly. This is a little too quick. I didn't see a lot of utility dump either. He's made his way inside White Stairs and inside Freezer as they're slowly making the push happen. Poseidon gets a frag. This will fall quickly for MonkaS if they don't happen to convert quickly. But Jora is here, is going to get a frag onto Jittery. There's a down also that's happened inside Freezer. That's Lusty Boy is going to stand up to his team and try and refrag stuff. But right now it's a 3 versus 4. That was just the confirmation on the kill. Never mind. And, well, the operators that did make it to the site are now dead. And that puts UG in a very awkward position. They did manage to walk away with the frag, but at what cost? Poseidon taking so many shots from Firefly as he does not want to let man walk away with his life. Poseidon a little too confused where's Lusty Boy is coming from. He's going to peek that anyway and get taken down. A little too greedy in terms of how he happened to approach that, but Firefly is still here. He's not out. He still could get this frag onto Poseidon. It's a 1v1 essentially, but I don't think Poseidon knows where the Melusi happens to be standing. Oh, a nice shot and a clean off kill from the man with the quick peek. Didn't even have to look at it. Gets a frag, but here's a refrag right back in from UG. He takes a fall. That is a Dagger. And it's a 1 versus 2 all of a sudden for Beat. We've seen him do this before. Will he be able to convert this time around? The Legion mine in his leg. And there's no way you survive the peak performance Jora has brought on board today, man. 3k this round as well, 4k the last round, and the clutch, oh man, it's too good. It's almost bringing out the Hindi in me. It's just great stuff from MonkaS. They'll be taking match point, people. 6-4 is the scoreline, and MonkaS stay 1 round away from taking this match for themselves. And like I said, the rivalry and the history that these teams share. MonkaS the only team that defeated Union Gaming when it came down to the season 5, and not defeated Union Gaming essentially though, but who did snatch away the spot of the champions in season 5, and we were seeing history repeat itself, I guess, giving Union Gaming a run for the money. 6-4. Let's see what happens in this round. Round 11 is indeed underway.
Absolutely. Round 11, but more importantly, 6-4 match point. Jora has been putting in work for his team. MonkaS have been putting in work today. And even though this is a post-round 6 rehost scorecard, ladies and gentlemen, you can see Jora already pulling ahead with the back-to-back multi-kill streaks in those last couple of rounds. UG are looking a little worse for wear right now, and they're going to need to fix that. They're going to need to fix that late round susceptibility that they have to MonkaS sort of holding back and pushing at the same time. Definitely Noob. This is an interesting barricade breakage right here that we're getting to see from him. Just, all right, I guess they want some air inside of Cafe for the time being. Or it could just be for Lusty Boy, who's going to go in and castle barricade that off alongside the other barricades that have gone off, probably towards Small Bakery, the default one, of course, and the other one somewhere else on the map. When it comes to first floor, kitchen service, and kitchen cooking, there's only so much that we usually see teams bring out. Variations of the big bakery hold strat, variations of the extended roam on the white corridor, VIP lounge area, and MonkaS have made their own variations, of course. They made their modifications and whatnot, but for the most part, it is the same in essence. You just want to deny the push from the side of Union Gaming, the attacking team, because the extended roam usually has a bunch of rotations in and out of sight in key areas, vital high traffic areas that you cannot afford to give away. Sure, with the reinforcement pool, that little change that came in with, of course, Year 5 Season 3, that's allowed these holds to be a little bit more viable, I'd say. Maybe viable is not the right term, but for lack of a better term, let's say, ladies and gentlemen, as you can just fall back and reinforce. It doesn't matter if you've already reinforced 2 walls, you still have a bunch more depending on how many your team has already used, of course. Definitely Noob. He's got some bullet hole peaks in the bar desk, the first floor bar desk. He's going to be spotted right there. Takes out the drone, but at what cost? As Firefly's C4 is going to come out. He's going to find Beat. That's a big drop. Hibana falls. That's the only hard breacher that UG had today. And that is unfortunate, unless, of course, Cold Room Hatch has been breached already. I don't think they're going to be getting it any second now, but Sandy's going to find a move to line. In the meanwhile, Ishan will drop, and with 1:10 and under remaining, Union Gaming need to make this execute happen if they want to have a chance of winning this round. Beautiful flick from definitely Nubis. He's going to find one more, and Sandy goes down to Firefly as the diffuser has been dropped, and MonkaS are now 1 round away from cinching this one. They're 1 round away from finishing it all off. Jittery, however, is here to retaliate. He's going to find one, but he's going to get taken down from the long angle. It's all down to Poseidon. 1v3 against the last remaining defenders. Lusty Boy, Jorah, and definitely are the ones for the side of MonkaS looking to finish it all off. Union Gaming a little worse for wear today as they've been given a run for their money once again by this beautiful team. But Poseidon is slowly pulling up. He's going to see the feet of one, takes him out. Beautiful shot right there as Lusty Boy will drop. That's 1, but he needs 2 more. He doesn't have to fuse her. He's going to have to chase the kills. Will he see one in Cold Room? He's going towards it, pre-fires it, but the ARX only has so many bullets. He's going to have to chase it. Will he see him? No, he won't. You can't beat Jorah with the SMG-11. He's going to get one more, and as poetic as it is, the final kill of the game goes to him after that beautiful clutch he pulled off a couple rounds ago, and MonkaS are going to be the winners of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, they are going to take Union Gaming out on the map of Cafe Dostoevsky with a beautiful scoreline of 7-4 in their favor. And a beautiful round, a beautiful set of rounds coming up from them after the early lead that Union Gaming had taken. 3-1 going to round 5, and everything after that, as they say, is history. Beautiful rounds coming out from both sides, but MonkaS are your victors for the night as they are the ones to take Cafe Dostoevsky 7-4. And right towards the end, Union Gaming, they looked a little wobbly at the start. They got themselves back together. They got their composition in the mid-round, but they unfortunately faltered too many times right at the end where they really didn't need to. 4 rounds back-to-back went the way of MonkaS, ladies and gentlemen. Rounds 7, 8, 9, and 10 went the way of the defending team. Ever since Roll Stop happened, MonkaS were on a mission, and they were not ready to stop. And we will take a look at some of those moments in the Relive the Moment, ladies and gentlemen. The highlights of this match. This whole match has been a highlight. Wouldn't you agree, Foxy?
I've got to give them that at least. Yes, definitely this match, the entirety of the match was an highlight. And I think we did expect stuff like this coming out, even before the match, that is when we were happening to cast Kira Esports and Extremis Esports' match. We could not stop talking about how amazing this match is going to be. And, well, safe to say that we are not disappointed. Great action from both the teams. It was MonkaS towards the end who happened to be on top, but it's just a bad day for Union Gaming. They've had their fair share of victories, honestly. They do stand on the top spot, people, in Division 1, but it is, in fact, the finale day for the division. So, bringing out the best of the best is what matters, and it looks like MonkaS brought it for themselves. Really good stuff from them. Let's I'll be expecting more from both these teams going ahead in Season 2, but taking a quick look at the replays right now, it does come down to the fact that I like the emphasis of Union Gaming putting down so much emphasis in terms of the intel that they always like to strive for, and that's great because out of the experience these players happen to have, it's great having that kind of intel. They always know what kind of conversions that they are looking for, and they just make them happen. It's good. It's great stuff. It's good stuff. More importantly, it's stuff that gets you victories. Except for the other half of the match that went in the favor of MonkaS, and one might say they just had a better start-off chance. Just how Cafe happens to favor defense. They did get 2 runs on board on attack. Then all they had to do is try and make the equalizer in, and we did see that happen very well. This round I was talking about, very, very aggressive. Both of these teams, a very quick round this happened to come down to, and it was just crossfires and angles being watched, and who happened to be the last one surviving? It was MonkaS. They walked away with the 4-2 really well. But, oh, nice shot from Jitri. Jitri is always on point with the shots. So, I sometimes actually do wonder, does this man have an off day, like, when he's just not feeling it? So far, I haven't seen Jitri underperform. Honestly, he's been at the top of his game always, but somebody else was on the top of their game. That was Jora. Definitely a huge, huge, I would say, oh, look at that shot from Definitely as I speak about it. But coming back to what I was trying to say about Jora, is he did add so much more value to the team than he generally does. I'm not trying to offend him or something, but yeah, he was today definitely off of the charts. Do you see this wall bang that did come in from the Zofia? Dagger must have been really happy getting that frag, I'm sure, through that wall bang, converting on before he happened to just move his crosshairs out. And this beautiful round, a 2v2 execute that MonkaS did perfectly well, turned it into a 2v1, and that 1v1 was well converted by the Valkyrie. Look at that. The pre-fight did come in from the ace, but it was the Valkyrie towards the end to survive it as he happened to move off of the ADS. I was around 7, speaking of which, Firefly, I do feel kind of sad on the fact that why did I not spectate Firefly more? He happened to pop off in very awkward positions, and the man had some great shots and great kills. I just wished I spectated him more so I could have gotten to see that angle, that side of Firefly a little more towards this match. But all in all, it was the infamous clip, which will be from now on, I'm sure, because this is a beautiful clutch. The collateral and then the follow-up onto the double. Look at that. Look at him. He's the moment, dude. It's so perfect. The man is just exposing his shoulder, nothing less, nothing more. And the white peak gets in. I'm not sure what Dagger was thinking towards that crouch peak and just, falling back. Could have taken the fight instead. But that's what lack of intel happens to put you in a place like that. That out of the way, Firefly once again, just standard stuff from him. And yeah, this was indeed a good round once again from MonkaS, and it's just been them stomping over UG, at least in the second half of the match. And that is what it looked like. That is what sealed the deal for them, and that is what has brought them up to this position. This is, in fact, the first match loss for Union Gaming people. So far, Union Gaming went undefeated in Division 1. So far, I say, until the finale day. Great stuff, and that out of the way, Blackjack. Any closing thoughts towards how this match just happened to go down?
I mean, closing thoughts can only be so few and so far between, Foxy. It was a beautiful game between both these teams right here as we end with the last clip. Well, almost end with the last clip from the match between these two powerhouses, these two giants of the South Asian Rainbow Six region. It was once again Jora to close it out for his team with the SMG-11. A beautiful day of games and a beautiful couple of games that we had. As let's have a quick overview of what we saw in the two games that we had today. The first game between Kira Esports and Extremis Esports went the way of Kira, who managed to finally take the match after Extremis put up a huge fight They went 7-5, nearly avoiding overtime in the last round, round 12 on the map of Oregon. And then we had MonkaS versus Union Gaming, the match that we just got to see. And MonkaS are going to be the victors, shattering Union Gaming's undefeated streak in Division 1 in the first season. And they are going to be the ones to win Cafe Dostoevsky 7-4. With all that being said, Division 1 is going to close out for Season 1 tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be coming back with Division 2 going forward from tomorrow and the day after. And another reminder to all of our viewers at home that if you want to participate in the league with your friends, your whole stack, your team, or just by yourself looking for a team, solo and team registrations for Season 2's qualifiers are open, and you can go register yourselves into the league. Who knows, you could be the next big thing to come out of the region, as we will be keeping our eyes on the next qualifiers as we quickly close out with Season 1. We've still got more Siege action. Division 2 and Division 3 remain before we close out, though, and we will see you with that tomorrow, as that has been it from myself, Blackjack, my co-host Foxy, and we will see you tomorrow with more Division 2 action and more Rainbow Six Siege action. Stay tuned, and good night.